Well, no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Yes.
See,
I digress. There's some bands.
Yeah,
that are just
because
like,
because
what the
some that's the beauty of it. I think the bands that like, like, but you're right. There's bands that like, and I love those bands. Those are my favorite.
because those are
bands.
the real bands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's those bands that polish themselves up so well, and then live it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Dude, like Incubus is one of the best bands that I've ever seen live, and I haven't seen like too many bands live, or like at least big name bands like live. Incubus is like to the fucking T, so good at like goddamn, their sound is fucking amazing. Them and Deftones, like I saw both of them the same night. It was fucking crazy, dude. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I've seen Deftones twice, bro, and like, I wasn't like, I'll admit I wasn't a Deftones fan before seeing them live.
Real shit?
Yeah.
Damn.
Like I've heard the songs, and like I would hear them and I'd be like, hey, like, like just with the homies, because maybe the homies would be bumping it. But then I saw them live with Periphery, and bro, I was like, fuck, like why have I not checked out these records? Like, you know what I mean? Because for the most part, I always heard House of Flies.
Yeah.
But then, like, that's when I heard Poltergeist for the first time. Like, I heard Poltergeist live for the first time. I heard Tempest for the first time. Like, I heard all these songs for the first time live that I've never ever heard. So then I was all like, dude, like, I need to get these records.
Yeah,
dude. Also, some of the amazing things that they do,
sorry about that.
Go.
I just want to add to that, actually. Like, see, that's the beauty that people are missing out on. Like, man, dude, I was just having a talk with my friend Luis last night. I like I said, I was in San Antonio. I was hanging out with my friend Luis. Shout out to Luis Lopez. He's from Cold Casket from San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they showed me some of their new stuff, bro, that they're working on. Bro, fucking bangers. I'll go ahead and ask them if you could send them to you, because I think it'd be great to interview when they come down here.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super down for that shit.
But anyways, aside from that, so I was talking to him about like how social media has become creativity and an artist's worst enemy.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a weird balance between a very good tool.
Exactly.
And it could be something negative as well.
Exactly, but I think right now it's become more negative than it's become useful.
In what sense?
In the sense that everybody's too worried about what everyone thinks of them.
Like perception?
Yes.
Public perception?
Yes. Like, I've noticed that bands are more focused on how they appear than how they sound.
Understood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're more, and even at that, like, they could say, oh, well, we still write music and blah, blah. Yeah, but it's all an appearance, though. It's like you're trying to live up to the image of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I was telling my friend Luis, like, dude, honestly, like, get the fuck off social media. Like, keep it to promote things, right?
Word, yeah.
But stay off of it as much as you can, because it's like a wormhole.
Definitely.
It just sucks you in.
It's you just go down that rabbit hole.
Yep. And then it also goes back to like what you were mentioning earlier before we put on record. Like, you were mentioning how you wrote down a list of like things that you wanted to do, and actually I forgot to add to that I started writing down a similar list. Because I have big goals in my life, right? And so for me, and I think this goes hand in hand with something that I've learned very important, which is like there is an underlying truth to everything, and there is no right or wrong formula, but there is a set formula that works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For example, I think growing up, one of the biggest conflicts I had was like, against motivational speakers sometimes, because they were helpful, but they were also not helpful at the same time, because a lot of them sell you something in terms of like, this is gonna work exactly like this. I did it like this. Yeah. And so it I don't know, like I remember they would always, for example, the one thing they would always tell us to do, and I never did it because I found it like so useless, like utterly useless, which was get a board, put everything that you want on there,
a vision board,
and blah blah, and then write down these big goals, and blah blah. And
so what you're talking about is like the separation between heart and like logic, or what? Like where it's just like like this part is definitely not about the art. Like it's you kind of squash down that like that essence of like there's a you could feel vibrations and all that, like which has to do with art. like that whole shit is stepped aside, and now you bring this like corporate guy like type of mood, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on? And now you're just following formulas. Like, I don't know, it's a little strange, but
yeah.
I mean,
and see, we're talking about formulas, and here I am talking about a formula, so people can be like, oh, well, you're, you know, blah blah, contradicting yourself. But it's like, well, what my formula is, it's so damn simple, which is, it's like, just be yourself, you know, like. And I don't know, man. I mean, it's something I learned from one of my best friends where I guess this is all recently, you know, I like, because for all of you that aren't aware of who I am, my name is Jorge Juarez. I was on a podcast earlier. What was it, like last year? I mean, it was like late last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? It was like probably late November, early December.
Yeah, right? yeah. The episode is called The Alchemist, in case y'all want to check it out. But yeah, like, so I guess like it's been this long journey of like, man, it's crazy, brother. Like if I started breaking it down, because think about it, like when we had that podcast, I just barely got hired by like
the company you work for now.
Yeah, the company I work for. I mean, I already said it there, right? It was Disney on Ice.
Yeah.
You know? So like, you know, it's crazy because when I first started working there, I was, man, I it's crazy how we like to think that we know it all sometimes, or not necessarily like you know it all, but just just like to feel that you know what you know.
It's because I think it's a sense of like feeling safe, like feeling that you're like not content, but you're just in this safe zone that you're like there's not, I don't have to like go and strive for more, and you want to be uncomfortable, so you say like, nah, I know, and like, and you're just
false confidence.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's what it is.
Like you know, and so I guess like, you know, I based a lot of like what I did before to kind of feel like I know what I'm getting myself into. You know, like, you know, obviously I played in bands and I did a little bit of moving around, but it wasn't like at that scale. So that's where I was, you know, in for a treat.
For sure.
Yeah, and so when like I told you, man, I packed up with like 4 bags. I went in
Johnny Cage Mortal Kombat style.
Dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like I was just, I was so green, bro, and I was so unaware. I was so green, and I thought from my experience, you know, that I was not green, but I was extremely still fucking green. It's like when you buy a fruit and it looks kind of ripe, but then you open it and it's not ripe at all. Yeah. That's kind of how I looked.
Oh, okay.
Like on the outside, I looked ripe, but on the inside, I was like, bro, like you still got a long way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
And, but yeah, man, like going in there, man, I guess I could break it down in a series of steps of what I learned, you know, because like, you know, why break down the whole journey, but let's break it down in steps.
Yeah.
I guess one of the biggest lessons I learned, or one of the biggest things that I realized is, in terms of the touring aspect, from what I could say, 90% of the people here in Laredo, or not just 90% of the people, just I say 90% of the people in general that say that they want to, or even, it could be even less, man, like 95% of the people that say they want to do this tour and do all this, they're not about it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Because,
but like you're pretty much speaking in most cities, right? Like as in most people, 95% of people are just
because then if everybody could do it, everybody would make it.
Yeah,
you know?
That's why.
But I'm not saying everybody can't make it. See, that's the thing. It's we ourselves hold ourselves back from fulfilling ourselves.
Of course.
And that's what it comes down to. Yeah. It has nothing to do with that you're not good enough.
And the people willing to go that extra mile are the ones actually being out there, the ones that are actually you're seeing on those fucking billboards, and like they're working hard. You know what, dude? I honestly think that Cardi B is like not the way she is. I feel like she's actually smarter than
she is, bro. They're all, dude. These are, bro, like, dude.
Like 2 Chainz has like a degree, and I don't know what, dude. Like
no one is anywhere in life by accident.
Yeah.
No one. Yeah. No one. Like they're not even the you know, Catch Me Outside.
I knew you were gonna say that,
like,
dude. Yeah.
Not even because I've watched videos of Dr. Phil. You know, and it's not like I actually went and researched about it, but you know, I guess being on YouTube and stuff. See, everything's a wormhole.
Down the fucking rabbit hole.
Right? Yeah, rabbit hole. There you go. But anyways, like when he explained the situation, even he was like, it's like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, he doesn't know what to say about it much. But if you think about it, like, I think the mom and the daughter knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Definitely, dude. Definitely. If you think of all the shit that came like as a fucking or I guess like as a result of that fucking Cash Me Outside, like she fucking has some music, merch, and all that shit.
Like she has an agent.
Actually, now that I remember, there in that interview with Dr. Phil, when they asked him about the whole like, oh yeah, like because that was one of the topics they brought up. Like, dude, this girl blew up in your show. Like, what do you think of that?
How does that make you feel?
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I commend the guy. He's just like, you know,
shit happens.
Yeah, but I remember he even mentioned, you know, maybe I could be wrong, but if I'm correct, they said that when the cameras were off and he was talking to the mom and daughter, they seemed perfectly fine,
like genuine.
Yeah.
So what I think is like, think about it, dude. Like they like you said, you send in. Who the fuck is gonna be like, let me get on a show to argue? You know what I mean? Like they were like, hey, we'll pay you if you want, you come on or whatever. Like, and
you know what? Maybe at first they look. And that's the thing, bro. I'm not saying that from the get go they started with a plan, but that's the thing. Like,
they capitalized on the moment.
Exactly. Like the land of opportunity. So the thing about opportunity is that you don't know when it's gonna come. See, and that's what I'm talking about. These musicians, that 95% of them will not be about this life, bro, because they are not willing to sacrifice unless they see something happening. Like they're not willing to just take the chance.
Yeah.
And just go because you think that Cash Me Outside girl was like, oh, I'm gonna do all this shit until I get on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It just happened. Yeah. She just kept being herself.
Yeah.
And she capitalized on it.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of these like artists.
Here's my first step. No, I got
don't do.
Yeah.
They don't capitalize on who they are. Like they don't believe enough in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you can sometimes some of these people you can literally lay out like everything for them. And it's like you're wasting your time trying to make people believe in themselves when you should be believing in yourself more.
Understand, yeah.
So that's another lesson that I learned on tour, bro, which is I've learned to focus on myself. Like you know, and it's not something that I learned because like everybody there on tour was like mean and no, it's something that like they taught me. Like you know, like my department heads, like they just taught me that in the industry in general, you just have to like you separate emotions. There is no such thing as
you have to.
Like in your art, your emotions can go in there, but in the creative space when you're around people.
When I used to work in the oil fields, he was teaching me like so much about this thing called tester, which is like what is test separator, which separates the oil, the water, and the gas.
Yeah.
Now, dude, he was a dick, dude. Like he was a fucking asshole, and like most like 98% of the people there, dude, hate. Because he needed help, because he's an old man, so to get on like high places and stuff like that.
So this guy at what age? How old was he?
Yeah, at this age, dude, he was 70 something,
and he was still like doing all.
Yeah,
that shit,
dude, he didn't want to fucking retire.
You gotta respect people like that, bro.
Yeah, dude. He's the type of person who's like, I can retire already, but he would think like, what is this?
What am I gonna fucking do?
Yeah, what am I gonna do at home?
Exactly.
You know, exactly. And then like he's like, and honestly, I don't feel like no one has the knowledge.
Like no one can fucking take over my slot and shit.
So he's like, I need to teach someone or whatever.
My guy.
And so this guy, dude, like for little things, he'd be like, he's like, did I say to do that or whatever like that? Like, and I'd be like, fuck. And after 3 days, I was like, this fucking asshole, dude. Like, I can't. But like, then I realized, like, dude, this guy's not a teacher. He's not trained to be a teacher. He's gonna say it the way he is, but he's still giving you lessons, you know, like as in he's giving you knowledge, and that to you should be gold. That should be your gold, and you're gonna have to dig for it. It's not gonna be, you know, there. So I was just like, all right.
Yo, it's nuts that you say that because well, for starters, man, to add to that guy, like what that guy did, I just want to, you said he passed away?
He passed away.
Oh, really?
Cancer.
God damn, that's fucking crazy.
Well, maybe like 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago.
Dude, have you ever realized something, bro? And it's just, I'm just tripping out on it. Like, some of the best people die of cancer, bro.
It's weird, right?
It's weird.
It's weird.
It is pretty crazy, man. And
it's weird.
It's
like
trippy.
Yeah,
like what the fuck? Where did that come from?
Yeah, like you know, these are like sometimes like the most fittest people, the smartest, the most intelligent, the most at something, and they get cancer, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
which is strange because they're not also like they're not
unhealthy.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're like
yeah.
you're like, what the fuck? You're not as bad as I am. You know, like where I'm eating bullshit and you're fucking.
Yeah.
You know.
But anyways, you know, rest in peace to that guy. On another note to add, what was his name again?
His name was Roger.
Roger.
Yeah.
Well, like, dude, like Roger is the example of what I'm trying to be as an artist, which is like, I'm not trying to work for a fucking retirement check, bro.
Understood.
I'm not trying to work to get money and like chill and kick it back. Like, I just want to keep writing and performing and just fucking like, you know, cause I want to go out like Roger, bro. Like, like the only thing that's gonna take me away from all this is death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it goes back, like I said, this goes back to like the whole like things that I learned on tour. Like, you know, I learned that I'm part of that 5% that wants to make it. I don't know if I will make it. That's the thing, bro. See, that's the thing that I'm saying. I'm not saying that the 5% will make it.
Yeah, but you're part of the 5% that wants to fucking go hard.
Yeah, and you know why I want it? Because I know that I want it. Because I've invested so much money. And I just told you guys, I had a project that was in the works right now. Bro, I went in so deep on this project. Like from the jump, I already invested like thousands of dollars into what we were already doing.
Studio time, fucking equipment, everything.
Just
the
to
whole
find,
fucking
just to find
9 yards.
Yeah, just to find out like that most of it it's not even gonna see the daylight. Maybe never, maybe anytime soon, or you know, maybe possibly, I don't know. But that's the thing. Like it's just up in the air now. It's just, you know. But I'm not worried about the money. I've never been worried about the money.
Yeah.
Like, see, and this is the thing, bro. Like a lot of like I noticed that a lot of people get jealous of me because they see that I'm with Disney on Ice or blah blah, and you know, and even having me at the studio actually, like there was another band recording in there, and like they saw my gear, which by the way I bought a bunch of new cymbals for this recording too, but I bought it on credit. See, that's the thing. I'm smart. I'm not rich. I'm just smart.
I know how to fucking use all your shit together.
So like. You know, I remember they saw my cymbals, and one of the guys was like,
"God damn,
yeah." And then you know, I was talking about him because he was asking me. He was like, "Oh yeah, this and that." And, you know, I was answering, and one of the guys was like, "Man, it's so easy when you're rich." And I was like, "Well, actually, I bought these on credit. And I'm still paying them off. Like, I just took them out of credit. Like, it's a 36-month financing, 0%." You know, I explained the whole gimmick to him, and I was like,
I'm out here, dude, making moves, making shit happen, baby.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And
ain't no one for money.
Exactly. And you know what? It's good that I owe money because it makes me work harder. Yeah. Because now it's like, okay, I got.
People make excuses, man.
Yeah.
You feel the pressure of like.
And then his follow up was like, "Well, it's so easy when you got good credit."
Yeah, you know, and that's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean, bro. Like, I've never, you know, and then like I said, people look at me working with Disney, or they've seen me work with this or that or this and that, and I've seen. I mean, I don't know, man. I'd like to believe ever since I was a kid, I've always been a very receptive person to vibes. So I could see through people before they, like, you know, I could just see through motherfuckers, like, you know what I mean? And I've always felt the vibes, and like, you know, I would feel the vibes that, like, you know, people are jealous of what I'm doing or whatever. But it's like, dude, I'm not here because I'm competing with anybody. I'm here because I'm focusing on myself.
Understood.
Like, and you know what? Like, it's crazy, man, because like I do think about it, like, you know, like. You know, I just you know, for I guess you should probably take out the Disney on Ice.
What do you mean?
Like just beat, you know, no, just beat my bat words out or something. I don't know. No, I'm just tripping. No one's
dude, no one's gonna see this.
Yeah,
relax.
No one that's gonna tell on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
like,
it's just paranoia from work, I guess.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, the whole PR training. And actually, let me fucking stop everyone there because we've gone 20 minutes in and I never even did like the whole intro thing. So,
oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, so hi, Aliens on the Border, 96, Jorge Juarez, Justin White, special guest coming in just a bit, and here's your favorite podcast intro song, guys.
Aliens on the Border.
The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found.
Faster than light, spaceship of the future.
By direction of the President of the United States, stay in your home.
Is it human or inhuman?
earthly or unearthly.
Born in that swirling inferno of radioactive dust, there is no word to describe them.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy coming true.
Why is it that we usually ignore the fourth dimension?
Is this the human race of the future?
Aliens on the border.
You just say for Disney artists, which is like
True.
Anyways, fuck. Sorry, guys. I totally didn't. I got too caught up in the conversation that I forgot to do the whole intro thing. And actually, our special guest just got here. So, quick break, real quick. We'll be right back. And we are back. Special guest, Digital Jeff, just pulled up into the building. What's up, Jeff?
Oh, man, I'm so excited to be here again. What episode are we on?
We've officially reached episode 96. This is episode 96.
Wow.
And it was funny because we got fucking so into the conversation, I didn't even do the intro till like 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
So like, it'll be an interesting one to say the least.
Yeah.
And it's actually the first podcast. I know, you know how I mentioned that I wanted to use the camera functions a little bit more, so I'm trying it out as we're going along.
Yeah.
It's a little.
Are we live on Facebook or something?
No, we're not. It's
okay.
It's gonna go live later.
Got it.
Because I wanted to be able to like.
Because I was looking for it on Facebook right now and I couldn't find it. Like, damn, I'm putting the wrong link. What's going on?
No. We didn't go. I mean, I decided not to just because I wanted to do a little bit of what do you call it? Just a little bit of editing and post as far as cutting it together and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, welcome back, everybody. That was a little break, and so we were actually talking about actualization. So George, bring up the whole argument, or not argument, but your point again of like the 95% of artists versus the 5%.
Oh, okay. So I was just telling him how, like, you know, having been on tour, I realized that, at least this is just something that I realized, that, you know, about 90 to 95% of the artists, artists that say that they want to do this aren't really about this life. You know, and what I was saying is that, you know, those 5% are the ones that want to do it. And I'm not saying that they're going to make it. I'm just saying that they want to make it. And I'm not saying that the other percent can't make it and include themselves in there. It's just that I've literally seen it, man, where like I've met extremely talented musicians way far beyond my own league sometimes. And or people that, like, you know, it's almost like I've been a coach to all these people most of my life. You know what I mean? And all these bands that I've been in, I've been coaching all these people and trying to motivate them and blah, blah. And at the end of the day, it's like, I don't fulfill myself, you know, because then they're like, they just give it up so easily. You know what I mean? Like any obstacle that comes their way, they're just like, I give up.
Investing your own energy into like other people. Yeah. And I feel like it's not a bad thing or a detriment to who you are in any sense. Because whenever, like, from the first time that we met, like, I mean, I've always seen you around different shows here and there, like, hey, what's up, and all that. But like until we actually sat down that first podcast, like 7 months ago or so, like, for my takeaway from it as far as like your personality is that you're very willing to help others, and like you more so because you love music in general. I feel like it's music specifically, but it more so just anything in the creative realm, right? And so from what you're saying, like, I get that, and I understand how you get to the conclusion of like 95% of the artists out there, they
might
don't
be more.
You think it's more?
Yeah, I think we're all artists, first of all. And I think at a certain point in life, you decide that you're not good enough. And you're just a little bit afraid of, or have some type of fear of not being good enough. So you just stop doing it. It's like when somebody tells you that you don't know how to draw as a kid. You know, all of a sudden, like, oh, shit, I don't know how to draw. That's not true. It's just you haven't really expressed yourself. You know, some of the greatest artists don't even, like, if you look at their artwork, you go to a museum in New York and you're just like, wow, I could have done that. And it's so true. It's so true. Well, why is their artwork up there? Is because they're part of that 1% that believed in themselves and kept going and found a way to get discovered. I think a lot of it has to do with fear, man. There's this guy, what's his name? Ichiro Kishimi. He wrote a book. I think, did I talk about it in the last podcast?
I think, is that the one that you recommended me?
Yeah, The Courage to Be Disliked. And it talks about the whole fear of just not just being disliked, man. It's like we had this fear of being disliked, and it's gonna stop you from doing a lot of things. And as an artist, it correlates directly to your craft, because you care so much about it. Like, you're so passionate about either whether it's your music or whether it's your film or whether it's a blog post that you wrote that nobody read. Like, you're so passionate about it, but for you to publish it or send it out to the world, it's very scary.
Yep.
And we get stuck in that loop of like trying to perfect it.
It's almost like you're just there waiting to press send, and you just can't.
Like, oh, wait, it's missing this.
Yeah,
it's missing that. And then all of a sudden you send it out and nobody reads it, and then you give up. And then like, or nobody hears the song, or nobody gives you feedback.
Or by the time you sent it out, like for some reason the connection went out, and you're just like, like
that was a sign.
Yeah, it was like 'cause you missed your opportunity kind of thing. You know?
Well, I mean, I think
because my dad growing up, he always told me, man, it's from a Mexican song. It's a Mexican pop song, and I remember he put on the music video. I forgot what it was, but it's an old song, and it's basically this dude who's living out his dream. Like he's a musician, he's doing his thing, he's playing, performing, blah blah, and then at the end of the song, he wakes up because there's all these cars beeping at him, and he's a cab driver.
Oh
damn,
that's fucking
sad,
crazy.
Dude.
And my dad kind of
no disrespect to cab drivers, but
no. but I remember this is like my dad showed me this a few years back, and here's the thing, and it goes back to like that old podcast, like I told you. My dad has never really been like, oh, I support you doing music. It's more like, I'd rather you do something else, but if you're gonna do that, just don't be an idiot, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, like go fucking hard.
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah,
like do it. Exactly. Not just half-ass that shit.
Exactly. And so whenever he gave me lessons, it was very like that, like just like straight up, like boom, like. And then so when he showed me that video, like he's like
don't be a cab driver.
Well, no, he was actually like, you know what I meant by that, right? And I was like, yeah, I was kind of like, I don't know, right? I get stuff being a cab driver. He's like, no, like, no te quedes parado en la luz.
Oh shit!
Like, if you're gonna make a move, make it now. Like,
damn,
you gotta make decisions. You gotta make them now, because if you stay stuck, you're gonna stay stuck in the line. Next thing you know,
Next thing you know, everything passes you by, and you're just fucking. You're still there.
One thing my dad always like, I don't know, and when I was a kid, I was so stupid, because there are so many missed opportunities that I had, because. And it went back to what my dad used to tell me. And of course, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I know. Yeah, I was like, because obviously, like, he didn't support what I did, so I was very like, I guess like
whatever, Dad.
Yeah. Basically,
you ruined my life.
It's so funny, but I hear these stories of people being like that with their father, and I was never like that. I was always like, Dad, like, what do I do? It was opposite. It was like the direct opposite. Like everything he said was like, okay.
Yeah,
I agree.
See, and that's the trippy part. Like, that's eventually how our relationship eventually became. Like, it through the years, I guess through me eventually seeing that he was right, and like just all the trial and error and all that. I was just like, wow, like you know what I mean? Like,
he probably needed to see you on your toes, and once he saw it, he was just like, okay, now you're on the right path, and like you're on that pursuit, and I could see it. So now I'm like,
and now we even talk to each other like very differently. Like even coming back from the tour, like it's more like. It's like we don't even argue anymore at all. Like there's no like I had to ask him for something, and it was a favor, but a favor that I have to eventually like compensate back and stuff like that. And we had to negotiate it with like, it's almost like businessmen, because he's an entrepreneur. He's on his own business, so I have to talk to him like that. You know what I mean? And so I did that, and like it's crazy how like much respect I feel that he has for me now, because like I've learned to control my emotions, and I've learned to like. I guess in controlling my emotions, I've learned to make, wiser and more effective decisions. Whereas I'm just like, scared, and you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like I guess he's seeing that I'm actually doing stuff now. Like even if I'm fucking up, at least I'm doing it.
Yeah, you're making the moves.
Exactly. That's all he's always told me. Like he's like nomás no te pendejes, and he's just like and just keep learning. Like, you know what I mean? That's always
so strange how Spanish is just more passion. Like, it's just more, it makes more sense, dude. Like, and like how blunt it is. Like, how it's just like this and no bullshit. I'm not trying to make this like colorful fucking speech. Like, it's just boom, and you're like, it means so much.
It means so much.
Yeah. Just those words, just that phrase. Was
like, ponte verga. I was like, all those words.
Yeah, for real. Dude, and it's, like today, the fucking cast that we have right now on this episode feels fucking badass, because I feel like everyone has
their own character, bro.
Not even just that, but everyone has literally like their own creative endeavors, and like we've all been trying to make shit happen, right? Like, so it's interesting to see like everyone's different perspective on like whatever it is that each of us is doing. And in the last 7 months, we've had George that went out, toured around the fucking nation. Did you go like international as well or no?
Mexico.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and so like you've toured, you've been a part of like huge production sets and stuff. We've had Justin in the last year or so much music being pumped out, whether it's like with Dos Leones or with fucking Elevator Theater. And then of course like Jeff, you've been doing everything with like Leaders Create Leaders, and not just that, but also helping me with like the whole fucking production and everything. And it's amazing how like when we all come together, there's like this fucking crazy energy, right? Like it's just beautiful, dude. And like when we were all there on Tuesday for that show, that was fucking epic as fuck, man.
Bro, and you know what, dude? Like now that you mentioned that, it's crazy because when I was out on tour, man, it was tough being out on tour. Obviously, like, people are great and everything, but you miss home, you miss your family, and then I wasn't around my creative space as much, and that was really what hurt me, my family and my creative space, like not having those, you know what I mean? Because it's like that's what makes me me,
It was time to execute, so you were just boom dialed into the whole job of it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But like honestly, one of the most inspiring things on there, like it was like I remember this is after I dislocated my shoulder, and I was there like with the doctors and everything, and I remember I was at the doctor's office and I was listening to Elevator Theater. Yeah, shit. When you barely dropped the EP, I was there listening to it. I was like, okay, cool. Like, you know what I mean? It actually helped me pass the time because I was there filling out the form, and I was like, because I'm there like super frustrated trying to figure out, like, I've never had health insurance. There's all this crap involved, and I'm just there like, oh, let me listen to Justin's new project. There, like, and it's like, oh, this is dope. Yeah, and I like some of the stuff that you did. I like the
Creed?
The riskiness that you took in some the direction,
Yeah.
And then I also saw a lot of your posts. Like I saw how there was that one that Marriott shared or whatever, the Marriott, right?
Oh, the pyramid?
No. Remember
like the Marriott hotels?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that, and I was like, that's so dope. Like it's like, man, like all these people, like, and then I would still see your podcast coming up, and you know what I mean? Like, and the same with other homies out there. Like, I don't know, man. I think instead of getting jealous of people doing stuff, I was just getting more inspired and just like,
dude, fucking exactly, man.
And I think that's the switch, dude. Because I mean, my younger days, like for sure, like it would be someone up there, and like I don't know what was in me that would get this like, oh, you need to be alpha male, you need to be fucking, and then this like this envious nasty vibe would come over me, and we're human, and we've talked about this before.
Same here. Yeah, when I was younger, I experienced it too.
You learn by it. And now, like, dude, when I see like my friends like doing better, I'm just like, dude, like I get excited. I'm just like, dude, fuck yeah, like like I don't know, it's just like I can't wait to go see that live, and I can't wait.
And I think this also goes far beyond just an artist. I think this just goes beyond like us being like just human beings. Like like the other day, bro, like see it just goes like, I don't know, like the other day one of those dudes from like the ones that sell the banana bread for like the churches or whatever, the dudes that are recovering from
recovering addicts and all that stuff.
Yeah, like he came up to me and like we had a whole little like mini talk about just like kindness and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And like it was dope, you know what I mean? Like, and then the other day, like I saw some dude walking in the street and he was like singing out loud, like with some headphones on, like he didn't give a fuck, like in this quiet neighborhood. And instead of me judging and being like, what the fuck? Like I was like, hey, get your money, pimp. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's like, you gotta be happy for people, bro. Yeah. Like why?
Did you buy the bread though or no?
See, that's the thing. I didn't have money. I'll be super honest. I was flat. Like I only had cards on me. Yeah. And I was actually on my way out to San Antonio because it was yesterday.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Yeah. So I saw him and then like I was like, I don't have money, so that's why we started talking.
You took an hour away from him, like you didn't buy him bread.
You gave him knowledge, though. That's what fucking matters. Dropped a little bit of here, dude.
He should have given
good vibes, right? Sprinkle, baby.
But I mean, I hope I see him again. I mean, I'll throw him something, But anyways, like
we gotta go find him now and hook him up.
Right,
take him some coffee and.
There you go, man.
Here, enjoy your banana bread with some cafe.
But I've bought that banana bread from the barrio, the something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What's it called?
something del barrio. Something del barrio.
El pan del barrio.
No. El pan del barrio. Oh, damn.
I never understood that growing up. Like I would see these guys getting dropped off in vans and walking around the street with bread. I was like,
that's so weird.
Have you ever bought the banana bread from
those
them?
cholos are cool.
I think one of them I have. Like, I'll be
because they're all with tattoos and like wife beaters, like with the fucking bread. Like that's fucking dope. And I never knew.
I got some bread, food.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool, man. That's a cool little system here.
I got some bread, food.
Yeah.
No, but I've actually bought. Well, I bought a banana bread from them like a couple of times because when I used to work at Zoomies, they would stop by there. But anyways,
some brownies.
Special
brownies.
Anyways, all I'm saying is like, man, I mean, it's just I'm just happy for people, man. Like that's what's been helping me be happy for myself. Be happy for people. Like I'm just, I don't know. Like,
honestly, that's the best way to take it. That's probably why, like that's the most. The thing to be inspired by it is like the best route, dude. Because if you're over here like thinking like, well, what can I do to be better? Then that's kind of like. That's kind of shady, like it's kind of like, well, why do you want to be better? Like it's just fucking do you, focus on your tracks.
Yeah.
And it's just like, instead you should take it as like, the inspiration to be like, whoa, that's fucking cool. Like, like just be like that's great or whatever. And
be like a child, bro. Like,
exactly.
Like I think that's the reason I'm very grateful for my nephew right now. Cause he's kind of like, reinvigorated that for me. Like, how it feels to be a child, because anything I do, like for example, like I have like I bought him a little kid drum, like a Remo drum, and he plays it, and sometimes he'll give me the six play, and I'll do super simple things, and he'll be like wow, and it's like that's kind of what we lose as we grow up. We tend to just kind of like take the magic away from everything, man. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
You're right, dude. You're right.
I'm just trying to be like I'm just trying to be a child, bro. Like that's literally my thing. Like I'm like a grown child, like, but I at the same time, like I've learned to control my emotions. I'm learning more on the way, and then like at the same time, like like nobody can break me down, because like I'm the only one that I've already broken myself.
Understood.
Kind of thing.
I
don't know, man. It's just like I'm like nobody can phase me, bro. Like like
dude, I didn't even mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but like one of the things that I wanted to ask you is like, how does it feel to be gone from Laredo for how long were you gone? Like 6-7 months? 6 months, right?
7 months. Yeah.
How does it feel to come back and then like
readjust?
Not readjust, but like maybe how does it just feel to be back? Dude?
Actually, that is right. Both are right. Like readjusting and coming back. It was strange, man. It was strange because like mind you, like you're literally in a different city every week. And then you're just like living in a hotel with like the same people.
There's habits. And there's all this stuff.
Yeah. Like it's just
some crazy stories,
Like, I mean, just like us having fun.
Hotel stories.
A lot of fun. Stories. Yeah, pizza parties. A lot of them.
Dude, pizza parties.
Pizza parties.
Pizza parties.
Pizza party and chips.
But yeah, like it's just, I don't know, man. It's like it's its own, like I remember when I got hired there, like the head of my department, she told me like this is in real life, in the sense that like it just feels like something else. It just doesn't, it doesn't feel like real life. It doesn't, like it just, and I don't know how to explain it.
I was listening to Sadhguru. Have you guys heard of him? Or
Sadhguru?
Yeah, I think that's the way you say his name. It's spelled SADH and then Guru.
Oh, probably. I mean,
Sadhguru.
Yeah,
well,
probably.
He was on this show on Impact Theory called From Tom Billio. Have you guys seen that show or no?
No.
It's on the internets. But Sadhguru is this. Obviously, it's a guru from. I'm assuming he's from India. And he was talking about how the moment you draw conclusions in your life, like the moment you think you know it, is the moment you start dying within that realm. So, in the sense that, like, if you make a conclusion that, I'm gonna live in Laredo for the rest of my life, you start dying in that sense, because you've already made, your mind has already made a conclusion that this is it, this is life, reality. And what you were saying kind of reminded me of that specific talking point, like where it didn't feel like real life, because for you previously you have maybe made that conclusion that you were going to be here, and now you're like touring all over the place from one point to another, meeting different people, being in different situations, like what the fuck, does not feel like a real life. Like what is it?
Yeah.
But that is real life, you know.
Yeah.
The whole idea of like just keeping it interesting and being open about what's gonna happen next. That's what makes life cool. Because
exactly, you know, and not that you point that out. There's actually, to add to that, coming back, that played a big factor, because I realized, wow, I really enjoy that. Like I was like, I miss it. Like I want to get, you know, at first I was like, oh, I can't wait to be back home and I don't know what. But then once I was back here, I was like, dude, like I want to be back out there, but I want to be back out there like on my own terms.
Yeah.
Like with my own art. Like everything that they did was so cool, and I want to do that in my own terms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm still gonna continue. I'm still, you know, with the company in the meantime. So I'm still gonna do a little bit of work with them. But you know, I'm also like, you know, I guess I told him about a situation. Like I said, I invested all this money into, you know, and you're aware of that. Yeah, I told. Yeah. There you go. I remember. Actually,
that's what you guys were talking about on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. It literally like fresh off the pot, bro. Like it. I you know, and sorry, Zoe and Alex. I love you guys. I met with them yesterday. They're cool. They're my best friends. And congratulations, by the way. Yeah. But anyways, but yeah, like I you know.
So what's going on? What's going to happen next, or what?
You know, yeah, like I guess.
Are you moving on? Yes or no?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no shame in that. Like you just said earlier, you gotta make the move. Don't stay.
Yeah. No, it's because at first I was like trying to find an explanation, but you know that's another thing that I've learned, man. It's like there really isn't nothing to explain.
Yeah, there's nothing to explain, man.
Because you know, I think that's another thing about us, you know, continuing to move forward. I think we need to, you know, and it goes back to the whole thing I told you about making a list. So you know, I said this whole thing earlier about how, like, you know, I love motivational speakers, but at the same time I don't like them. Like, not all of them, because, you know, growing up, they always told me like, oh, you need to make a board and write down these big things. But you know, that never worked for me, because the big things they stay here. I have a pretty good memory of what I want. Yeah. But what I don't have a good memory in, because I'm very like sporadic, you know, in that sense, is short term. So I was like, I need to start so for my thing is I started building short-term goals, you know, like all these things, and I write down all these lists of short-term goals, and I've realized that I get so much done like that now. Yeah. Because my long-term goals, I know what I want. It's my short-term goals that are gonna help me build
achieve that shit.
Yeah. Those are my stepping stones.
That's pretty cool.
So it's like, you know, and by doing that, like I kind of like adding to what you said, like I've learned to just like let go of what already happened. You know, that whole situation, like, you know, in that moment when I was talking to you, like I was like, whoa, yo, but you know, I've already let it go, because it's like, you know, like, you know,
you gotta move forward.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I'm happy for them.
Does it feel like breaking up with a girlfriend or something? How does that feel? Like, what are you feeling right now?
At first it felt like you didn't know how to take it, almost like you know, if someone tells you like I'm breaking up with you and you're in love with them, or if someone told you like, oh, this person passed away, and you're just like you know, like, because it's like you were all these hopes and ambitions were going into it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The death of like this whole path of a universe, just boom. At least for now.
Well, that's the thing. The energy was transferring there and so much, but then the thing was like, okay, am I gonna allow it to just stay there, or am I gonna just keep going? And that's
redirect it to something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen that movie, Bohemian Rapsody?
Yes, I have.
Did you have that? Because there's a point where they break up, right? Was it like that? I just, like, when I saw that movie, I was like, first of all, I was blown away by the movie, but I was like, damn, bro, that's fucking depressing. Because I'd never been in the band.
It varies,
but I can imagine sad, it's like being with your brothers.
It's exactly what it's like.
And then you're like, hey, you know what? We're not gonna hang out anymore. Bye.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
I think it has a lot to do with how much time you were in it with those people. You know, obviously, like with this band, it was easy for me. I mean, it wasn't easy for me to move on, but it was easy for me to move. No, well, it wasn't easy for me to move on. I had to move on. Mm-hmm. Like, they're my friends. So in the past, I would have not moved on as easily. Yeah. But now I've learned to not mix friendship with my art. Mm-hmm. Like, my art is very different from my friendship. Like Like, for example, I've realized that I'm a very demanding artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think anyone that has worked with me can say that, and would probably say a lot of bad things about me because of that. You know what I mean? They'd be like, "Oh, this guy's such a pain in the ass," and blah blah. But that's just how I am. That's just how I've always been. Like, and I'm just equally as much as that to myself. You know, so it's like, don't.
You're serious about art, man. That's all it is. You know, and when when you're there creating, you're like, we're gonna fucking create.
Yep.
And there's a vision that you see.
Yep.
So you're just trying to make that shit manifest itself in whatever it may be, whether it's the show, music,
exactly,
what have you.
Exactly. And I reward my my team. You know, like when we went to the studio this weekend, I bought steaks for everyone. You know, we made, you know, but like that's my thing. I'm just a very demanding person. But like, you know, just. That's what I am.
Going back to what I was telling, like, or saying,
and you know what? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's what's helped me move on, because I just realized like no one is as demanding as I am. So if I can't meet anyone like I am, then I'm just gonna keep moving on.
Yeah.
And that's what's allowed me to just break free.
Understood.
Got it.
Yeah. And what I was saying was like going back to what I had mentioned earlier, that I feel that you're very open to, you know, lending a hand here and there. Because when we met the first time and we sat down for that first fucking podcast, we talked about so many different projects that you had a hand in, so many different shows that you had a hand in and everything. And what I wanted to get to, my point then, which I'm kind of like coming full circle when we were talking about this, is like you may be very demanding, and a lot of people may take that the wrong way, but you only do it because you see a lot of potential in the people that you work with. Is that right? That's what I wanted to like.
I see. Exactly. I see potential in the people. I see potential in the ideas. Okay. I see potential in the idea first and foremost. The idea has to be there. Like I don't care about anyone or anything first, but the idea, right? Because as an artist, you have to have an idea. There is no inspiration, you know, out of nothing, right? Well, out of something, right? Yeah, there is inspiration out of nothing, but that is the what
you gotta like mold it into something out of just raw energy.
And then once you have the idea, it could just be the smallest thing. It could literally be like a little pebble, but like as long as it's an idea, then it's like, oh. Now, who can I get involved? You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of how you start building on that. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, like you know how you said that, like, you know, I've been involved in all these things. I'm so grateful to have been involved in all those things and whatnot. But I guess in terms of being in a band or being with groups, I just realized that like, I guess like, I just want to keep moving in my own pace because I'm just demanding and like, you know, And being that I'm a kind person, see, that's the thing. I'm a kind person, but I'm not a walking mat.
Yeah.
Like I will, like, you know, I
like you can be assertive when you need to.
I have a lot of people that dislike me for a reason because I'm very outspoken. But it's just, but you know, but it's like through the art, I'm outspoken. But then on a personal sense, like if I see you, I'm just like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm not even, dude. Like, but if you're not like,
I would have never imagined somebody didn't like you.
Yeah.
Like every time I've encountered you, we had like just you know, chill vibes.
Yeah. I mean, you know, through the grapevine, you know, just I just
one of the things that you mentioned, George, when you were saying like, yeah, you're very demanding and everything, but at the end you ended up like getting steaks for everyone and everything, and you throw out the word team, and I was like, you know what, that's something that I feel is very, very fucking important, especially on the path to create something where. Like this realm or this type of I don't know. I guess you can call it profession, right? It counts as saying
yeah.
In this realm of the career of the creative space or what have you, I'm learning more and more so that the team that you work with is a huge piece of being able to succeed, or you know, and helping accomplish the vision that you have. And I wanted to, Jeff, ask you about that a bit. Like how much has your progress increased ever since you were able to put together the team behind LCL, and even outside of that, just like all the creative endeavors that you have? Yeah, you for the most part, you have a team behind you on that, right? Like,
yeah. And I mean, obviously, at the very beginning, you're going to be doing the majority of the work, if not all the work, because of, I mean, not only you're privileged where you have financing, but in my case, I didn't. So I was wearing all the hats. I was like from the director to the distributor to pretty much doing everything, you know. And at a certain point, there's only so much you can do by yourself. And yeah, with social media, you can probably do a lot more by yourself now. But to a certain extent, if your message wants to become more than beyond you, you know, that's bigger than you, then you do need a team. and the team that has gotten behind me is people that believe in the mission. So some of these people are not even getting paid. Some of the people that actually work with me on my team, they're not getting paid. Mm-hmm. So just think about how important it is to not only be very direct with your messaging of what you're putting out, but also like what exactly is your mission within your core team, because everybody on the team has to be dancing to like the same rhythm, right? Or be on the same mission, or be in the same boat, being like going the same direction. Yeah. And one of the things that I've realized is that, on the contrary to you, I'm very I let people come in and leave if they want to. I don't really cut off people, but at the same time, I'm very aware of the energy that somebody's bringing into the table, and I know how much I can count on them. So there's these levels of expectations where if I notice that somebody, they're here just for the moment, mm-hmm. I already understand that. You know, it doesn't even bother me that they're maybe not. They're giving me like a 1% of what they could be giving me. Yeah. That 1% is greater than the 0%.
Yeah, I understand.
But then there's some people that come in and you can see that they're like 110% all in. Okay, dope. This guy's gonna be on the team, and I can count on him. And I'm giving myself this opportunity to grow with that person, and I'm gonna see, okay, this guy's gonna be with me for the next 5-10 years, or maybe forever. I don't know, maybe. Yeah. So there's this level of like just playing with it, just dancing with it, mm-hmm. not really like setting so many rules. It's just like whatever I feel is how it's brewing, you know. But at the same time, the team has grown because of that. Because I've allowed people to come in and leave, not necessarily.
Yeah. They weed themselves out.
Yeah, they weed themselves out at the end of the day. And then these people that weave themselves out, they're still best friends.
Yeah, of course.
And you see them grow into...
Because you can separate the...
Yeah. Because some people like come in to just learn about the craft. They don't come to support the mission, but they want to learn about their craft so they can do then, in return, go make their own...
Understood.
Mission or whatever. Yeah. And that's beautiful, because you understand that as somebody that now in my mid-30s, mm-hmm. it's easier to understand that when you're 21 and you're like, oh fuck, you're not supporting me, get the fuck out of here. It's my mission, you know. So it's beautiful because they come and you understand that they might say that they're about you, but you can read it. You can read that they're actually not about you. They just want to learn how to create something, and mm-hmm. it's cool. You want to teach them, and you want to. Mm-hmm. It's like your kid, bro. You're teaching them how to do this, teaching them how to do that, and all of a sudden, as soon as they learn what they wanted, boom, they're out. Their energy's not there anymore, and it's just you see them take off, and like, oh, it's dope. They call you like a few months later, and then all of a sudden, like, they're doing something that's amazing that they're so passionate about, and it started with you giving them that rite of passage, like, hey, here, move on, like, it's time for you to do your fucking, lead your mission on, but yeah, man, the team is so important because of that, and there is some boundaries that you got to draw, obviously, because if you really care about your mission, you're like, it's like you said, you have to be assertive at a certain point and draw some lines. Yeah. But when you're working with some very small budget, sometimes you just need all the help. Like, whether you're giving me 1%, I'll take your 1% that you're giving me, but I'm gonna understand that you're giving me that. I'm not gonna give you a big load of work to do that's gonna be very critical to the project. And then it's my fault that didn't come through. It's very interesting that we talk about teams that coming and going and stuff like that, because two of my best friends, one of them's 25, one of them's 22, and when they were, about 4 years ago, when I moved to New York, they saw what I was doing, and they themselves were like, hey dude, we want to go work with you. One of them was from Utah, and the other one was from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And they moved to Jersey. And through this time period in Jersey, both of them went from like always living with their mom and dad to now all of a sudden being in the fucking city.
Yeah.
And I was their mentor, I was like they looked up to me kind of like as a father figure, coach, but they were also part of my team. Throughout this whole time, I understood that they came here to learn, and eventually they were going to leave. I already knew that. And there was this moment where that happened, right? Where they finally said, hey Jeff, like, like it's hard for us to say this, but like we're gonna do our own thing. And for me, I already knew that like months and like even since the very beginning of the relationship, that they were destined for more. So it was like, dude, this is dope. Like, what are you guys gonna do? Like, this is fucking exciting. So they ended up, running their own production company. So now they're like literally traveling the world, have their own production company. And a few months ago, when I was in Japan, I was in Tokyo for the day. And when I arrived to Tokyo, I was checking my Instagram, and I see that these two motherfuckers are in Tokyo also, out of all places. And I say, bro, I'm in Tokyo. Are you guys still here? Because sometimes people you post on Instagram, that doesn't mean they're actually they're still they might have already left. So they're like, dude, and shit, it's like, we're headed to our hotel. We're staying in Shibuya, and I'm like, bro, I'm staying in Shibuya also. We end up staying in the same place, and then so we end up meeting, and we spent the whole day together. We spent like 24 hours together, straight up, like from no fucking team, no sleep, just fucking went out to the city, but it was amazing to see the type of relationship that we have. Beyond like, oh, you supported me, did support me, like all that shit, like it's really so small at the end of the day, like
it's not the end game.
It's not the end game. So that was beautiful for me to see somebody that was part of my mission at one point, and then now they're doing their own thing. So at the same time, like it's like, are you spreading positive energy or negative energy? What is it? And if you're spreading positive energy around the world, then you're part of my mission. Even though it's not directly correlated to my own egotistic project, it's still fucking dope because you're doing good things with what the tools that you have now, So it's kind of long-winded answer. Sorry, Josh.
No, it's fine. That's what I wanted. I wanted to dive into that, and I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit more and focus on that subject just a bit, because I feel like as I myself, go further and further into the projects that I'm running now or trying to get off the ground, like I never really like, and I've worked with you like over the years with like DR and everything, and like you're my fucking cousin, so like you live next door to me for the longest time, so I'm always around like your work and everything, and so like I've seen the progression, and like I don't know, I just kind of wanted to pick your brain about that as far as like when picking the team, or how do you really like approach it, right? Like how, because I feel like I'm in that phase right now where like I'm trying to bring the individuals together. I don't know how to like go about it correctly. You know what I mean? So like it's difficult for me.
Do you want the systematic approach or the spiritual approach?
I don't know. Give me a combination of both.
All right. So I think there's a lot of, and this is something that I just had a conversation about this last night. So one of my friends has this philosophy on motion, movement, and manifestation. I really can't explain it like the way he does, but this is the way I'm going to explain it the way it made sense to me. So, growing up, I was very involved in like sports. I was like gung-ho about working out, playing basketball day, playing with the soccer ball, all these like motions, like, when you think about the basketball, it's like a circle, like, it's got some physics to it, and then you bounce it and it comes back to you. Soccer ball is a different type of physics. It's still a circle, but you hit it. And you gotta hit it in a certain direction with a certain angle for it to make the right movement.
Different material.
Different materials. So there's like this whole idea of playing with the universe, playing with the physical aspects of the Maya illusion, right? And this whole thing creates this energy field in our body, like where you're finally like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do this," and this happens, right? The more you do it, the more energy you have, and the more you're putting it out to the world. So this whole idea of manifestation, he believes, and after he explained it to me, I was like, oh shit, that's so true. But let me explain it. He's like, so the more you're doing like this whole idea of like motion and moving, like running and working out, not necessarily like just working out, but like just you being in motion instead of just sitting down, right? Yeah. If you're being in motion and if you're existing in this reality, you can ask for things because your mind will figure out how to create these things. And so if you're trying to build a team, you have to be in motion and movement and asking for the manifestation of that perfect assistant or that perfect partner or that perfect teammate that you need in your team, or that perfect band member or band manager, So as you're moving, even I've seen your performance this past Tuesday, and I see the motion that you're creating. That motion that you're it's manifesting something, So one of the things that I realized over the course of my life is the more movement, the more I am involved in the world. Like you just went on tour. You were like moving from one place to another. The more you're creating in this space, the more you're allowing, the more you're breaking the rules, putting the rules aside that you had made conclusions to, the more is it that you can manifest. And that's the basic concept. The more you can get into that flow state, the more you can ask from the universe. The universe is gonna find a way to. It's so funny, bro, because I had told a friend the reason because he was like, oh man, like I can never find the right girl. I was like, bro, it's because you really haven't really figured out what that right girl is for you. You need to tell the universe, hey, I want this type of girl that looks like this, that looks like that, and that has these characteristics and. Like even if you have to write down all the characteristics. So this guy, and I'm not gonna mention his name, but he wrote down literally all the characteristics. Shit. Right?
Picky motherfucker.
Yeah, like picky. Like, oh, she's gotta be like an astrologer. She's gotta like have like all this like this type of body figure. She's gotta speak like this. She's gotta be around this age. She's gotta be into business, entrepreneurship. She's gotta have at least 1 or 2 businesses that she's already failed at. He came up with this whole list.
Wow, dude.
Right? And throughout this whole process, we're spending so much time together. And like a few weeks later, he calls me. He's like, Jeff, bro, that shit that you spoke about, it's so fucking, like I literally just met her. It's literally like the world just like, it's so weird because you know how like when the video game, when you're playing the video game, all of a sudden like you look to your left, for example, and all of a sudden the character pops out. Sometimes it's delayed. Yeah, sometimes like it's already there when you look, but sometimes it just pops out because you know the computer has to generate it. Yeah. So that's kind of the way I believe the universe works. Like when you need somebody, like a team member or something like that, you have to think about who you need as you're creating these motions, like whether it's working or whatever that motion is that you're doing. You gotta be generating those thoughts of who that perfect partner is, who that perfect band member is. And be really specific because the universe is going to generate it for you and find it and put it next to you. But when that person arrives, you got to, oh yeah, you're the person I was looking for. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So then you put him into your corner and be like, hey man, like this is the mission. And you'll most likely that person, you know, was made for him to be part of your team.
That's great, bro.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's fucking crazy. And it makes so much sense. And I feel like I kind of knew the answer, but like I just needed to hear it from somewhere else. You know, like that type of fucking feeling.
Yeah,
it's so weird the way that the universe works like that, dude. And just in like what this past Tuesday from that performance, dude, like it just felt different. Am I right?
Yeah. The thing is that like I don't know, like, well, to be honest, I expected like 15 people there because it was Tuesday and I was like fuck, and but I also thought like and like there was two thoughts because it was that doubt of like, but I was still gonna perform my best, right? Like I was still like fuck it, I'm gonna go all out for 15 people, it doesn't matter. But I was like, but also J-Rab did the whole Pro 8 News thing. There was a good promotion. We promoted the fuck out of it. And I was just like, so, you know, whoever's there, we're going to perform. And then like we were like, a la verga. It was probably like
on a Tuesday night.
On a Tuesday.
I was not expecting that. Like I literally just like didn't even think about it what I was wearing. I just took off from the house.
I didn't think
showed up with fucking huge crowd. Like what the fuck?
I didn't expect that too,
bro. I usually never have time to go to shows like because of like conflicts or whatever. And I had time for this one.
Yeah,
and I'm really glad I went, dude. I'm glad I went.
And yeah, man. But what was the question? I'm sorry.
Did it feel different to you? Like, cause like being in the crowd and like. Well, I mean, I got there after the first band played, and I heard like nothing but good stuff about Varia. And that's her name, right? Varia.
Well, yeah.
Varia.
It's probably, I don't know if it's Varia or Varia.
I mean, it's the same. You know, it's Spanish.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's spelled like it looks like in Spanish. Yeah,
Varia. See,
Varia, whatever. Both ways. And well, anyways, like so being a part of the crowd, like the
Walmart.
Wally Martinez. Nah, but
Juan Mart. Hey, that'll be cool. Juan Mart.
Oh shit.
Trademark that shit.
Trademark. Nobody, you can't. Yeah, it's copyrighted. Fuck off.
JuanMart.com.
God damn it, dude. No, but
shit, dude. That's shit.
I feel like just like I always say with Boogaloo, like it's a special place that has like this fucking weird, super special energy. I feel that Cultura is reaching that. It's at that level.
Yeah.
And even more so because it's been so good at just bringing people into the fold of the scene, whatever the fuck you want to call
Definitely,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
And that day, like, it was just a perfect combination of everything. Like, everyone was there. A lot of people that I feel had never ever seen y'all perform before were there. And then, like, I don't know, I feel like y'all are just getting to this other level again. Like, if you remember, like, how you felt when you were creating Crown the Sunset.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
That, right? Like,
yeah.
And I just got that from the performance, like, being in the audience. And it was funny because nobody was really at the front at before, like, when you guys were about to start. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to the front. I don't care.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I texted Roger. I was like, Roger, come to the fucking front, dude. Let's go. And then, boom, everyone started coming to the front.
I fucking love Roger.
Yeah, dude. God damn, it was such a fucking fun night, man. And yeah, so yeah, like, do you feel that you guys are, like, you know, almost like an album mode? Is that the energy where it's at right now?
I think right now we're in like, we're in this state where we like, okay, we want to start like bringing people in, right? And we right now we're trying to set the tone for Laredo in the sense of like to be like we need a camp. We need to set camp here, right? But it's camp, so it's like we're gonna constantly move. It's gonna be this. We're coming. I think we're gonna do a tour, dude. I think that's what's gonna happen really soon. At least for Texas, real quick. We're gonna kind of start building a radius and start like boom, 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 and we've done a tour before, so we're not. We've done a tour for that. Nah, but what's it called? We're kind of smarter now because at that time we just literally just threw dice, dude. We were like, "Fuck it, let's just go
roll for initiative."
That
boys.
was fucking. That was dope. That was dope, though.
It was ballsy, dude.
It was so ballsy.
Let me, dude. Were you at the when they played in New York?
I saw him in Queens. Yeah.
Well, how was that?
That was fucking amazing. That was like, I was literally gonna say, like, I think I'm the only fan that I've seen you in multiple states. Like, I literally seen you. Yeah. That was
That's
fucking,
funny, dude.
I'll never forget that day.
Yeah.
Literally, like, I took one of my friends, Brandon, which is not my friend anymore, but me and Brandon drove up to Queens, fucking parked like a block away, walked into this random ass bar. What was the bar called?
Gussie's, right?
Gussie's bar. Yeah. And we fucking. Oh, you know who was there too? TNS Ray.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
TNS Ray.
He lives over there.
Yeah. Well, he lives in LA now, but
he does.
Yeah, he lives in LA,
Dude.
That's so true, dude. I forgot.
And Ray was formerly my student.
Oh, okay.
So I hit him up and like,
that's how he knew you.
That's how he knew me. Yeah.
Okay.
So he was always in my classroom for like years.
Yeah.
Years.
He just stayed there. Yeah. So
I'm 40 now, though.
Yeah. But
I'm 36 years old.
What was it like?
The Eminem
like
thing.
Being there and then seeing people that have never ever seen them before. Like, what was that like? The reception to you, like,
well, Gussie's is I mean, they're known for performances, right?
Yeah,
from what I understand.
Apparently a lot of famous people have like
Performed
that was one of their like first stages, like when they would go to the New York. Yeah.
So I think there was a lot of appreciation, obviously, from the people, not knowing, like, they don't know their music, they don't know their songs, but you could see like everybody that was at the bar all of a sudden stopped and then just like, oh shit, the energy's over here, and you could see that shift from, oh, we don't care who's performing, to like, what the fuck is happening? You know, let me enjoy the moment type of feel.
And it was, dude, the most beautiful thing is that coming from the staff, which they were open for 7 years, they were saying like, we've never bought merch from any band. You guys are the first band we buy merch from. Yeah. And I was just like, dude, that's 7 years of constant bands like coming into your bar.
Your poster's still there, by the way.
Huh?
Your poster's
really?
Still there. Yeah.
Oh,
it's a huge Two Lions poster is like right when you walk into the left.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So what I think is that like we can pretty much like if when we're on tour we can book there again. Like it's already set for us, you know. So I definitely want to book there again, and we're gonna be there for sure. Because I mean that was a different, like, I was just like the appreciation of the staff and the way they kind of made us feel like home. It was just like,
I'm so glad you guys did that, even though like you said, like, oh, it was so like ballsy and it was so like just no thought process behind it.
There
like,
was
that's the way you got to do things sometimes, bro. Like that's
that's the best way to kind of just like get your feet wet. You know what I mean? Like when I was like 14 or 15, you know, we were in that band For the Taking, and we went on our first Texas tour. We lied to our parents, mind you. None of us had an ID. None of us were of age to even get an ID.
That's crazy,
None of us were even adults.
Yeah,
like we weren't legally adults.
Yeah,
and we lied to our parents that we were gonna sleep over each other's houses. Like we kind of formulated this plot where like, and obviously they wouldn't check because
that's beautiful because it's like a child, dude. It's like a child.
And we just went out on tour, and then our van broke down, and then like. I remember we slept in like the van, like in a hot like summer night with a fly that wouldn't let me sleep for the sake of me. Yeah. Anyways, it was great. You know what I mean? I loved it, dude. Like it was. I remember we played Del Rio. That was awesome. We got paid in beer, which we didn't agree to, but apparently someone agreed to Keystone Light.
Oh shit!
But you know what I mean?
20 of Keystone Light.
Yeah, bro, the best beer in the world.
$12.
Yeah.
Hey, for some teenagers, it was probably fucking badass.
Yeah.
Hey, but I mean,
bro, we're gonna get lit tonight.
Bro,
we're gonna get lit,
bro. And
this guy just went to Walmart, bought the total of Keystone.
Walmart, dude.
So much stuff went down, bro. Like we ended up staying at some like wealthy girl's house, and then like we were with other bands obviously, so some of the other bands they pissed inside his shoe, and then they pranked us because they kept putting like fucking they kept going into the room and they kept putting like syrup in my hair, and I kept washing it off, and then they would keep putting it on, and I never thought about locking it. I don't know, it was stupid, man, but it was great. Like we did, yeah, like I don't know, like we
for the taking.
Yeah, dude, I love the.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love the fact that the way you plot that thing, it's like when you're kids and you try to convince your well, you don't convince you and your cousin make a plan, like you go ask my mom to sleep over if I can sleep over.
Never works, bro. It never fucking works. Everybody gets caught with that one.
It won't work with me, dude. Like my cousin CJ, he would he'd be like, you go ask my mom, bro. And like I'd be like whatever, and then she'd be like, yeah, you can stay, whatever. Like,
bro,
but you guys live close. You guys are like there, so she's like, nah. I'm pretty sure she's like,
my brother and my cousin did that once. It didn't end the right way. Like 8, 9 in the morning, they're looking for them.
Oh. Dude, that's crazy.
These guys never got back.
Oh, but yeah, like I don't know, man. And I think that's literally how it started, man. Like you know what I was talking about, like how people do things expecting like instant gratification. Yeah. And I think that's why a lot of people like, I don't know, man. I'm not here to call out who I think is an artist, who I don't think is an artist, or whatever.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to say is, it's not about the instant gratification. It never was. You know what I mean? Like when we did it, it was just so rewarding to be able to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I remember when we played shows, we played sometimes for just the sound guy, and I remember one of the tours, one of the bands almost got in a fight with the promoter because he didn't want to pay us. And I was screwed over so many times where I've invested more money into doing this than I've ever gained back from it. Like I could have probably like right like when people ask me how much I've invested into this, I don't even know. Don't even ask me, because I could tell you this much right now. Like let's just go this far. I have my 5th drum set that I own. And right now, everything's set up on there. It's valued at about $7,000, and that's just my 5th drum set.
God damn, dude, that's fucking crazy.
So
I saw the photo; it was ridiculous. I was like, "Damn, bro."
So with that being said, and that's not studio. Like mind you, when you go to a studio, you're talking about like 1,000 per song almost, or things like that.
Yeah.
Like, and we're talking about years, and we're talking, dude, I've never done this for the money, man. And fortunately, like, I think. That
maybe
has managed that.
Maybe you should.
No. Like obviously, like, see, here's the thing. That's the thing about breaking the rules.
Yeah.
Because I understand that money is a part of the rule here that we live in.
It's
so I know, you got to flip your money. You know what I mean? The only way to make moves is you got to make money. You know what I mean? If you ain't got money, you can't do anything, because like that's the way the world works here.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't allow it to control me. So by not allowing it to control me, I've been able to.
The power lies with you.
Yeah, I've been able to somehow have an abundance of it,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that like I never have to worry.
Hey, hook it up, bro.
No.
We're in the studio here.
Let's go to Walmart, dude.
No, but it's funny because if people look at my bank account, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you have like,
dude,
you have like $20, or you have this, or you have that."
Yeah.
But then, but how am I doing all this other stuff?
Yeah.
Like, look at everything that I'm doing. Like, you think I'm worried about like a retirement fund? You think I'm worried about like a 401k? You think I'm worried about how much I have in my home theater system. You think I'm not. No. Like what I'm saying is like, it's just I've just learned to distribute my money in places where I'm happier. You know what I mean? Like instead of spending all my money in the club, I spend all my money on gear. Like instead of dropping $20 on you know, at the strip club, I spend $20.
Strip club.
The strip club.
You know,
people still go to strip clubs in Laredo.
Like, no, but you know what
Pretty
I mean?
sure.
I you know, I spend $20 on buying myself a coffee and a snack, and then sitting down and working. You get what I'm trying to say? Like I've just learned, you know, and then another thing is like a lot of people ask, oh, like
Un 20.
and then you know, you might ask, oh, like how does he have this abundance of money? Well, it's because like I've learned to get, like, you have to find different ways to have your income come in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so I found ways to kind of like, you know, just generate a, you know, like a way for me. I'm not rich. I'm not anywhere. Like I can't live on my.
We cut to a scene where this guy's pimping all these hoes.
I found a couple of ways.
I found a couple of ways to make it my money.
But look, but anyone.
You see Juan Mart? Those little girls outside Juan Mart.
No, anyone come at me and be like, oh, like, you know, but you don't have kids, you don't have that. Exactly. Like, you know, and you know, like.
The whole kids is an excuse, bro.
Yeah, it is.
I'll have kids. I can't do it.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Now,
no, but
I'm doing it now. What?
Yeah, no, but I mean, you know, the people that can easily come at me because they'll be like, oh, you're here talking very high and mighty, bro. Like I still suffer from depression. I still suffer from anxiety. I still like struggle financially sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I still have my pitfalls. I just made a bad investment, like not a bad investment necessarily, but
it just didn't play out the way
it didn't play out.
To.
Yeah, and there you go. Like I still, mind you, I'm not done paying it.
Damn. It's like buying a new car and then it crash it.
Yeah,
you know, I can't even use it, but I still gotta pay.
But
for
I'm
it
still.
Oh man, that sucks. Like no insurance.
So you know.
That didn't happen. I'm just saying that would suck. Yeah.
But you know, I've learned how to like get by because, for example, like you know, like as my dad's taught me how to like flip money in a way, I guess. So like, you know, for example, I have all this music gear right now. So what am I doing? I'm using that to like sell a lot of gear that I don't need, so I can redistribute the money into things that I do need. So you see what I mean? I work with what I got.
Being creative with what you got.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason I've remained abundant, because it's not that I get a lot of money. It's just that what I have.
You're very resourceful.
Exactly.
Yeah, the guerrilla style.
Yeah,
guerrilla warfare. Like it's just
exactly.
Like
for example,
radio.
For example,
guerrilla radio, bro.
For example, you give me $20 and like, you know, for example, you give someone $20 and like they'll buy like X amount of groceries. You give me $20, I'll buy even more than that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, because you go to Juan Mart.
Fucking Juan Mart, dude.
But you know, and that's what I mean about the abundance. It's because like I remember a long time ago. And see, this is the thing. I didn't grow up with this mentality. I didn't grow up like not caring about money or whatever. I learned to separate myself from caring about money.
Yeah.
Where it literally is in a lifeline. There you go. Like I know that money is important. I know that money is gonna make my moves happen. So like, I don't let people mess with my money. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing, bro. Trust me. Like when it comes to business, that's the reason I'm demanding. See, here's the thing. I want to clarify with that. Like when it comes to okay, like when I got my team together for this thing, like for example, I hired a photographer, a great photographer. Her name is Stephanie Concesa. Like she came in, and like it's just like anyone that I work with. I'm like, okay, here's kind of what I want, and from here you do what you want.
Yeah,
all you. Yeah. Like I want
which is good, brother, because you're paying her, right? You paid her.
Yeah.
So you're paying her, and you're like, you want to see.
Here's my general outline. Of what I'm envisioning.
Yeah.
But
you also recognize her as an artist.
Yeah, I want to see it from your perspective now.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of what I mean. You know, and I guess the part that I'm demanding in is more of like going at my bandmates, like, hey, you know, this payment's coming up. Where's the money? And hey, you know, we have this scheduling. Hey, it's more like that. That's how I'm demanding. I'm demanding.
It's a professional.
Yeah.
There's
but creative.
The whole the difference between the amateur and the professional is literally that.
Yeah, I'm demanding.
Showing up every day.
I'm demanding in the organizational aspect, and that's why a lot of people don't like me, because I'm very like.
You're a professional.
Yeah. But when it comes to the creative space, I allow everyone.
Yeah, especially with a band, it's so different. Like, you know, you can't be the band by yourself. Like Banda Yo, doesn't really exist. Banda Yo.
Even the most solo of artists isn't.
You
a
can't
solo
create.
artist.
Like me as a filmmaker, I can create by myself, but in the reality, like if I want to do some big shit, I can't do it by myself. I need three people around me. So if they don't show up, like, hey, bro, I'm gonna find somebody else.
Yeah. Who were the Beatles without their producer? Who were, and it's not saying that they can't be the Beatles still. It's just more like, it's just a creative force that they created. You know what I mean? It's like when two things collide and it's just like, pff, one thing is already strong on its own, but another thing is like, holy.
Yeah.
Like,
I wanted to ask, dude, like what, I mean, now that, that whole project with that band is kind of on pause, at least for now, what are you planning on going to next? Or because I know when we spoke last time, you were still making your own music, right?
Yeah.
And all of that.
Yeah. And you know what, like when I guess in response to that, so that ended up kind of transferring onto this project. And then now that didn't work out, like I was like, you know what, I guess a lot of positivity came out of this because like with my old band Tour de Force, when it went south, like I obviously I didn't handle things well. Things were being said from parties, X, Y, and Z, whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess like I didn't control my emotions, so I ended up throwing everybody under the bus because of a couple of people instead of being professional.
It was very dramatic.
Yes, I was dramatic. And I've always been a dramatic person, and so I've learned how to control that now.
Yeah, smoke a joint, then react.
Yeah, there you go. Or a glass of wine, whatever.
Go to Juan Mart.
Yeah, go to Juan Mart, get a glass of wine. But yeah, like with this situation when this happened, I was upset. But what I did is I walked away from the situation and then went to the show. I talked to you. Yeah. I gained some outside perspective.
Yeah,
I basically sat on it for a little bit, and that's something I've learned. Whenever something big happens, or whenever you have a big decision or something impactful happens,
you have to.
The best thing to do,
dude.
Calm down.
When my girl told me she was pregnant, and I was like,
passed out.
What? Dude, I was tripping balls. Like, honestly, dude, I was fucking
19,
21.
Oh, 21. Okay.
I was scared.
21.
Yeah, 21.
21?
You know the reference, right?
Yeah.
21.
What's 11 plus 9? 21.
21.
No, but, what's it called? Yeah. It's because I had an apartment, and I was working with the band, and I was like...
Everything was good.
Everything was good. And I think that's why.
That's when life was like, it's too good for you, motherfucker.
Yeah, dude, yes. It's like... And it's funny because right now, I had just explained to Munch. I was like, right now, I'm in a good groove where I'm balancing, like, the band, my girl, like, whatever. I'm just like... And I know I'm expecting a fucking, like...
A wrench.
Shit. Fuck it up.
Fuck it up.
That's what life is going to do to you. And you got to be like, okay, boom, 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 boom. You got to figure it out, right? Life's puzzles, like, every day. Well, anyway, fucking, so at the apartment, we're eating, and, like, she made a fucking salad, and I'm eating, and she's just like, so I got to tell you something. And she's like, I'm pregnant. And I'm just like, I stop eating. I fucking throw my fork. I fucking drop my fork, and I'm like, I just do this.
That dramatic moment in the movie when it like it flips like down
in slow motion and shit. I'm so sure, yeah. And I just put my
You're like,
dude, I was
like, baby, I thought you were a virgin.
Where'd you buy that pregnancy test? Juan Mart or what the fuck?
Where'd you buy the condoms? Juan Mart?
No, dude, but honestly, it was my fault. Like, me and her, we were stupid, dude. We were, like, very, very ignorant. So what was happening is that she was on birth control for, like, the longest time, for, like, 5 years before. No, 5 years.
Where'd you get that birth control? Juan Mart or what?
What's with the 5 years? Dude, my bandmate Jess got pregnant with his girlfriend 5 years after they were going out with my band. And then with this band right now, like this couple, they've been going on for 5 years.
That's crazy. No, we were together for 5 years.
That's why they've been together for 5 years, and then they had a baby.
Oh, okay. No, we weren't together for 5 years. She was just on birth control for 5 years. Like, she's been on birth control prior to when we met. We were, dude. Never mind. We had a year, and then she got pregnant.
Oh wow.
Superstition stopped.
Yeah. Yeah. We had exactly like a year, and then she got pregnant. So we're eating. That shit happens, and then she was on birth control, and like what was happening, dude, is like I was literally coming inside her like for like 6 months, dude.
Oh
and,
man,
like,
I wish I had like some sound effects for that. Some fucking.
Oh, hey,
some cartoon shit. Well, anyways, yeah. So I was just coming inside her for like 6 months. Dude, a week. There was this.
With the sound of a.
Yeah.
All right, let me hit that joint.
Yeah. And so like for like a week, bro, like a week. So what we thought was like there was another girl who was on birth control too, and she stopped taking it for 2 years, and she still couldn't get pregnant. Right? She was trying. It was one of her friends, and so we thought it was safe. Like, nah, it's the same thing. A week. What the fuck? Like, you know. And in the matter of that week, she fucking gets pregnant, right? And we're like, fuck, dude, really? Like, just this week or whatever. And I guess, fuck, that, like, how sensitive those birth controls were.
She ovulates a lot of eggs then.
Huh?
She ovulates then. Like,
it probably, dude. That was like an ovulating time period.
Yeah. Because some women, like, it's just, it's all in the anatomy. So the thing is, it wasn't so much like, it's just that it's not that the other girl got lucky.
Time
it's
period
just that
when she was ovulating. Yeah.
No, it's just that probably the other girl doesn't ovulate as much as your girlfriend.
True, probably. it's biology, right? Like it's a different biology.
Yeah, it's a different.
So, anyways, so
there is no gender.
She got pregnant and all that stuff. And when I found out, dude, I was like, fuck, bro. Like, I was like, fuck, and I didn't know what to think. I was more like, what the fuck am I gonna do? There's like, this barrier or whatever. But yeah, it was like now I realize just work harder, like that's it. That's like the answer was work harder.
And here's the thing, dude, like whether it's a child, whether it's an illness, whether it's anything, like I think like I'm not gonna disclose a lot of things about myself, but I let's just say that like I've experienced things in my life too where I do suffer from a condition. I won't really speak about it much.
What is it?
Well,
specifically.
Nah, you gotta be open, bro. Now you gotta be open. Nah,
I'll be open about it because it's not even that like it's not that embarrassing. Then now, and why not be open about it? Because there's maybe other people out there that going.
Yeah, exactly.
But basically, I developed a condition with my prostate where it's like I have the prostate of an old man.
Oh wow!
Like and people might think like, oh, that's not a big issue. Nah, dude. Like about like a few years ago when I developed the condition, like I remember I woke up with fevers and this and that, and like it felt like what a UTI would feel like per se.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
but it was just like super extreme, and I was like, what the hell? And then eventually I just found out that like somehow my prostate like was so enlarged that I wasn't urinating at all. Like I was at the doctor's office and I went to the restroom like 3 times and my I was still full of urine inside.
Damn, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, they gave me all this medication and blah blah, and like I went through all these treatments and
what is exactly is it called? Do you know? Like
prostatitis, I think.
Prostatitis, yeah, like inflammation of the prostate.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's common. It's common amongst men, right?
Yes, because men have a prostate. Yeah, so like it's prostatitis. It's a lot more common than what we would think, but
less common in our age group probably, right?
In some way, I guess it's a hit and miss. You know what I mean? And I guess I was one of those that
it just
and you know what I mean? And like and people might think that, oh, how does this affect you? Whatever. Nah, like it really affected me. Like I remember for a while it was difficult for me to sit. It was it just felt like a constant burning down there. Like it was just like if something was on fire down there. You know what I mean?
It's so crazy how like injury also can make you appreciate, right? Like something when you're like, fuck, dude, my like when you just have like a little pinche, like little strain on your hand or something, you're just like, fuck, dude, this is annoying. Like
no, and it shifted a lot because I mean I've been able to control it now, and I've gone back to a regular diet. I remember at first they cut me off coffee, they cut me off like all these foods,
everything, just all the shit you like, dude. Nah, I'm sorry.
It was super intense. Yeah. Dude, there was
no TV.
No, but that
no more Juan Mart, dude.
Bro, at first I didn't know how serious that condition was until like one point I was at the gym and I had taken some supplements and literally, bro, like I urinated blood.
Oh shit, that's fucking crazy.
That's the most painful experience of my life. You do not ever want to go through that.
Yeah, it's making me wiggle in my seat, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it was like but that wasn't really due to.
So how long did that last?
Look, hold on. Sorry about the blood real quick. That wasn't due to the prostatitis. That was just due to the fact that I didn't take care of myself and I was just irritating the problem more. And eventually you're gonna shit's gonna go more south, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the whole treatment and everything, it took about like almost like a year or so, man.
Just
for me to be
I don't know. I was thinking like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, me too.
Just for me to get it under control, like you know what I mean, like to really understand like how my body works now and things like that. Like I've had to adapt a lot to it. Yeah. So that's why I do a lot of exercising, a lot of yoga, and because that's helped me a lot. I watch what I eat. I still eat what I want, but it's more meat? Like. Yeah, I still do, controlled, but more controlled. Yeah, I'm more controlled with.
You don't stuff yourself at 2 a.m. with McDonald's and stuff like that.
No, yeah, because then like, and sometimes it's kind of been a little bit of an interesting thing because I've learned to live with it. Like when I was out on tour, and that was another thing. It broke me down because I was kind of like, fuck, am I gonna be able to tour now? Like, what if I have to stop at the restroom all the time and blah blah and this and that? Because sometimes it was like, yeah. I remember at one point it was like I had to go to the restroom every like 15-20 minutes.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Dude.
That sucks,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that happened to me as a kid, bro.
Really?
I want to say that happened to me as a kid.
Yeah.
I remember my mom was super worried. She took me to the doctor. No, Laredo.
Yeah.
And, we went to Walmart, bought some drugs. But as a kid, it happened to me. Yeah. And I remember peeing blood, too. That's why I was like, oh, shit. But you know how it started from...
from the bottom.
I was playing at Walmart outside, and I was playing soccer, and
someone probably like kicked you or something.
They kicked the ball close to me as hard as possible, and it hit me in the back, right, kind of like right in the liver or something like that. And for like a while, I was peeing blood, and I was peeing like every 5 minutes. Like I would had to stop, like Mom, stop the car. Pull over, pee like inside of the road like multiple times. And it went on for like a couple of weeks, and then they had to take me to the doctor because. They're like, hey, this is not
kidney contusion.
Vicks is not helping out here,
bro. Like, no, dude, and dude, like I said, like, honestly, dude, it's weird. People might not even think about it, bro. But I had I've already struggled with like my mental health, and like that just didn't help.
Yeah, it made like a higher stress load.
And it definitely really affected me in the sense of like relationships. Like I was just like I don't even know how to deal with this, like this and that.
Did you hide it from everybody?
At first, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's tough.
At first, I was like, because you feel embarrassed. You feel like
you feel like
you feel like a freak almost. I guess like you're just like, oh man, like I'm no longer like because I don't know. I was under this weird idea of like, oh, I guess being born as a child, like I'm born like this now, like I'm tarnished now, like nobody wants to be with me now.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like it's like a life-changing fucking,
Yeah, you just feel like you're just not normal anymore. You know what I mean? Like but like I guess I learned to get over that, and I learned to embrace it, and I learned to be more open about it, like with my partners, just so they won't like, because it has none. It's not like some sexually transmitted thing or anything like that. Like per se. It just kind of happened. Like nobody knows why it happens. It just happens, kind of thing. But like it's
probably an infection, no?
Yeah, it has to do with an infection. Yeah,
like
you know what I mean.
Kidney infection, something like that, or
like and it has to do with like E. coli, all these different things. I don't know. I really don't know how it happened.
Probably some carne asada from Walmart and
because it's just, Walmart, and mind you, like like I said, like I've always been very safe when having sex or whatever. Like I've always used protection, but like I've had friends of mine that all their lives they're like fuck it. They're wild. They're wilding, and they're fine. Nothing's wrong with them in that sense.
Shit, take them to the doctor. Find some shit.
No.
Depends who you ask.
But you get what I mean? That's one of the things that went through my head. It's like, what the fuck? Why me? Like.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I have friends.
What did I do to deserve this?
I have friends who are super reckless, and like, what did I do? Like I was, and it was crazy, bro. Because when
you're victimizing yourself.
Yeah, because when this condition hit me, it was literally 2 weeks after New Year's, and after I had made a resolution saying that 2018 was gonna be my year, and I was like, yo, like, because I mind you, like, I guess for people that don't know,
2018 was your year, bro. You went on tour and shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, 2017.
Oh, okay. I was like, bro, 2018.
My bad. But yes. Eventually, shit got better. You see what I mean?
Boom.
Like in the moment, everything just felt, and actually because of that condition, one relationship that I was working on like fell apart. Yeah. And things like that. There was just a lot.
Did you ever? I mean, did you ever? And this, I'm asking it because I just saw it on an Instagram post. And I thought it was very interesting that the majority of people that commit suicide are men. That's a statistic.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, did you ever? Were you ever in a depression state where you considered suicide?
I've been in a depression state where I considered suicide many times. This is like, and I'm more open about it now because I guess the reason I've been able to be open about it and not give a shit is because I think that's what's been helping me like be able to like cope with it more now. Because back then I was very conflicted in not talking about it because I was always like, if I talk to my parents about it, they're gonna think I'm crazy. Like, mind you, because my dad's very like machista. Gonna, like, and then like I didn't have a good relationship with my siblings, and I was just a very timid person. I had like a speech impediment growing up too, so I had all these factors that like kept me from communicating effectively, and so like I just kept a lot of those thoughts to myself.
Wow. And it's not even like just on you, but as a society, it's at least in the States, I feel like it's something that is pretty like not more so now, but definitely like as we were all growing up, and probably even more so for you because you're just a bit older than us. It's something that like they or people in general would not really talk about. It's just like sweep it under the rug type of shit.
I mean, not even in our culture, but like just across America, I don't think people talk about
exactly.
it,
That's exactly exactly right.
And it has a lot to do with like being bullied or whatever. But here's the thing: like I'm not like one of those that's like, oh, we gotta eliminate bullying or whatever. Like it's always gonna exist. I think what helped me through those times, especially when I was a kid, I think it was my teachers. Like I had really great teachers, fortunately, and like one of my teachers, she got me into Harry Potter, and like she always like she noticed that like I really got into it, like so she like
you read all the books. You read all the books.
I read 3 of them when I was in her class. I didn't continue after that too much because I get distracted.
Same.
But like like you see, but in that moment I was super like I was reading and like answering every question, and like I
accelerated reader.
you know what I mean, and like, but yeah, like I guess fast forward anyways, like I wouldn't say when I was a kid I wanted to commit suicide, but like I think those thoughts definitely started coming when I was older, as I guess like when you start going through like bigger pressures.
What age are you talking about here? Like,
I guess
when was the first time that you said, okay, like should I kill
this?
Yeah,
like I'm checking out. Fuck this.
Because I'm the reason I'm asking that I have 4 kids, so it's like at what time? Because I never experienced that. That's the thing. Like when I was a kid, never even considered it. But like now it's a very common thing where every year one of my kids will say, hey, this kid passed away. This one of and we're like, what was the cause? Oh, suicide. And it's a very common thing in high school now.
Yeah, I think when the first thoughts of that came, I think it was around the time that my parents were going through a divorce, or they were going to go through a divorce. They didn't end up divorcing, but I remember my dad coming into the room one time, and literally like I was probably like 11 or so, and he asked me like basically who I want to go with, like like kind of and like I don't know how you answer that kind of thing, and like that's kind of where.
How old were you at the time?
Like 11.
Like 11.
Yeah.
And how old are you right now?
I'm 27.
Okay, cool. All right. Just perspective.
And that's definitely where like a lot of like stuff just, and I mean, but mind you, I think this that wasn't what set it off. It wasn't just like, oh, my parents are splitting, I want to kill myself. It was just like I've already experienced things. Like for example, we talked about like when I was sexually abused as a child, like and like all these other things that played in, what I mean, like
traumas and shit.
Exactly. And that was just like a tipping point where I was just like my main stability were my parents, and now
that's going out the window too.
So that's kind of like where like it was like that's really where like the split happened in here. Yeah. So that's if anything, that's really where like I started becoming an artist.
Mine happened when I was 12.
Your form of expression.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to. I up to that point, I never was really open about expressing myself, and I guess like around that time is when I was already in band and things like that. Like this was like around 6th grade. I had just joined band. Music was like I was finally getting my hands in like touching instruments and things like that.
Yeah, mine was 7th grade. Yeah, it was crazy 6th grade. And it's crazy because you're going into middle school where everything changes now. Women are maturing and shit. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, what the fuck?
Bro, and that's the worst part, dude. Like because like I was so conflicted in that because it's like my dad never really raised me. So he never really, like I said, taught me like, oh, this is how you talk to a girl, this and that, or this and that. Yeah. And for example, my older brother, he just had a knack for it. Like that guy's a Casanova, a natural Casanova. But I didn't know. I was timid. I was like,
of course, yeah. Me
I
too.
didn't, and like I said, we didn't have a good relationship. So him being a kid, young, he said things and to push me away or whatever. And I believe those things that I was below myself, that I wasn't, And so and see, there you go. Like I'm here struggling with my own self, and then like my, your own family is like struggling, and then your own siblings are like indulging in their own stuff, and like, you're just kind of there, like trying to figure it out, and
Are you the youngest of the family?
I was like
middle child,
like a middle child almost. I'm not exactly a middle child because I'm like right below my brother, like I'm a year below him, but then I had 2 younger siblings that were.
Got it.
So it's kind of like it was like I was pretty much in the middle, because for example, like anything happens, they would go to me, like like, oh, why is your brother doing this? Why is your sister doing that? It's like, I don't know. But anyways, so so I just struggled, man. Like I mean, I'll admit it now. It's a little embarrassing to say it, but I'll admit it. At one point, I actually asked my dad for like money, and I would give people dollars or whatever just so they can hang out with me or whatever.
Damn, that's pretty
like I bought him food just so they can hang out with me. Because I didn't know how to make friends, so I was like.
In the same sense, man. I mean, it goes back to like for instance, I would want to take like gum to school or whatever to be the guy that has gum and be like I want to share this shit like this,
because
you
want to be a contributor to something. You want to provide value for somebody.
Because I saw my brother. I saw like imagine like you get out of class, you don't talk to anybody, you're there walking like out of lunch. And then, you're sitting on lunch by yourself, you walk out of lunch and you see your brother over there in the group, and like you see him, he looks so popular, he looks so like in his zone, and you're just there like, how do I get in on that?
Yeah.
And I remember one time asking him, and he said, no, like they don't want to hang out with you. Like he was
Did your brother tell you that?
Yeah. He's like, nah, like they don't want to hang out with you.
That's
like
crazy.
Like he's like they said that they're good. Like, like you guys just basically said no. And I
was addicted to my little brother too, dude. Like, but because I learned it from my older brothers.
Exactly.
Like,
so it's a learned thing. Yeah.
What's it called? My older brothers were dicks, dude. Like they were fucking dicks. Well, not Chris, which is my second brother. But
did you have like a love-hate relationship though, or was it just straight?
With my oldest, I just like, he was an asshole, dude. So I had this like how do I say I love you if I can't? You're just my brother. That's. And then Chris, he was more, he's gay. So at the time he was like very sensitive and shit like that. But then like the negative things that they would do, and you're a kid, like you get those like aggressive emotions that they had, and I would project that onto my little brother. And it's funny, but like it wasn't until I smoked a joint, dude, that I realized I was being an asshole, and I was very aware that like.
Did you cry or something? Or no?
Kind of. I teared eye for sure, and I knew that what I had to do was I had to confront Trey and like explain to him like why these things happened, and like I apologized and everything. Like I had to make it right. And I went up to him, I was like, dude, like he's like, for real, like actually like all this shit that I done to you, like it's stupid. Like it was very, very, very selfish, but you need to understand that on my part, like I also learned this,
Yeah, you just didn't know any better.
Now I'm aware of it, and I know it was wrong, and that guy that you used to see is like, he doesn't exist anymore. And I'm pretty.
It's trippy that you say that. No, it's trippy you say that because, like, I that's one thing. I guess that's the reason because of that experience alone, like. Because me and my brother didn't really have a bad relationship growing up. We were pretty close. Like, you look at our pictures, we were close, but I don't know where. Like, I guess when we moved to Laredo, because we used to live in Houston, and like when we moved to Laredo, I think that's like, I don't know. I guess like we just because we were always for the most part in the same class. Yeah, because we're in the same grade. Because he was born in September. Yeah. So we were always in the same class, and then eventually, when we moved to Laredo, they finally split us up. So like I was always dependent of him. I was like his Robin. Like he was like the Batman, I was a Robin. And so I was always like dependent of him, you know what I mean? And like, so then like when we moved over here, he kind of like, I mean, like I said, the guy had his own groove, and like he fucking went at the beat of his own drum, you know what I mean? Like I just didn't know how to move to my own, you know what I mean? Like, So then like he kind of just left me there, and I was like, but I mean, I'm not saying it in a victimizing way now. Like, you know, it's just, you know,
that's just the way that shit played out.
Yeah,
it's just the way it played out.
It's just that's the way it played out. Yup. And like, but it's crazy, man, because yesterday when I was in San Antonio, he called me and he's like, hey, and I was like, what's up? And I was like, are you in San Antonio? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, oh no, I just want to see if you're okay. I'm like, oh, all right. He's like, all right, talk to you later. That's it.
Like, I'm about to go to Juan Mar's cash me.
But that goes a long way, man, because like we didn't have that before. You know?
Okay.
Like I appreciate the fact that he's actually doing that now.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, like I've just learned to like let go of all those things and just like I don't know, man. Like
it's great to grow, bro. Like when you see people grow and you're like,
when you stop victimizing yourself. There you go. Like when you stop victimizing yourself and you kind of just like look at it like more from a perspective where you're just like sitting and observing. It's like you're watching it in a movie kind of way. Like you're the viewer now. Yeah. And like you're just like, wow, like it's not what I really as bad as I thought it was. Like this all played out for a better purpose. You know, like I guess in the moment it just didn't feel like it, but you know, like I don't know. And going back to the whole thing with suicide, because we were talking about that.
Dude, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, like you know, it's not something that's ever gonna go away. It's just more of something that I've learned to control in controlling my emotions. See, that's the thing. Controlling your emotions allows you to like, you know, because it got to a point, dude, where I realized I was like, and this was actually like recently. This was something that I learned from coming back from tour, where like, you know, I finally learned to catch my anxiety and like depression when it's like being a culprit, like as in like it's creating things that aren't there. Like I start feeling depressed, start feeling down out of nowhere, and I'm just like, oh, you know. And there was a part of me in the past that did a lot of self-harm, you know, like in overindulging in things. You know, I would indulge in things and stuff, and you know, but it was self-harm towards myself, like not cutting myself necessarily, but just like I said, indulging. And like, you know, I guess like I've had those urges recently too, like, you know, at any other time again, and you know, urges to just do negative things because like, you know, like my mind's creating these things, but like I've been able to catch it now, and like I'm just like literally like staring at it almost like you're not real. Like I know like, what you're doing.
You're just I'm making you up. Like you're not.
Yeah. No. Actually, no. You're making this up right now. Like I know you're making this up right now. Like I'm calling it out for what it is. Yeah. It's like you're just being a little asshole right now. That's all you're being. And I'm just gonna ignore you, and I'm gonna go to sleep. Or I'm gonna drink a glass of wine, or I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna do something.
Keep fucking doing me.
Yeah. And you know, obviously, I'm not saying like I have it figured out. Like that's one of the processes I've learned, to just be able to distinguish, like reality from what you know these negative things create. You know what I mean? Like which leads to depression. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then what's allowed me to be here to say this is just like being open about it. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. I mean, we're all human, man. I think we all go through these moments of like just feeling low about yourself, or like the whole idea of having anxiety, or just being fearful, or fuck, what are people gonna say about me? Like all these things all creep up at the same time for some reason. Like they all show up to the party, like, what the fuck, man? Let me just go to sleep, chill.
At night. I was about to say, at night, yo, it's like the clubs in your head.
Yeah, man. They all.
Yeah, you know, for the Escobar show, I was thinking like, fuck, dude, like are people even gonna show up? Like, you know, because I was thinking like,
was that last night?
It was last night. I was like, how do I top Cultura and like, you know, take that to Escobar, which is a whole different setting, a whole different like, you know, everything's different about it. And I mean, some things are the same, but like what I meant was like the stage is across the street, so you're watching from the other side of the street, so the intimacy kind of like disappears. Now you're making a whole different show. You know what I mean? Because a stage, like, you know how to work a stage, but then do you know how to work the street? You know how to work the sidewalk?
You know how to work the street, you whore.
Get over there.
And so yeah, I was very afraid. But I mean, I think it turned out great, because it was a whole different thing that we were able to make the show. And there was a lot of barriers we had to go through. Like, you know, Caleb was going through something, Monch was going through something. And I was just like, fuck, dude, like, are we going to have a good show? Like, their feelings are not on the right, you know, on the right page.
But y'all, you knew what they were going through, right?
Yeah, we knew what they were going through.
And see, that's the important part.
Yeah. And so, what's it called?
Yeah.
We're like,
that's dope.
I had to I had to like go up to them and be like, you know, like we need you, you know, we need you here right now, like whatever you're going through, whatever, like we had to fix everything. And like
just fucking gig it out, man.
They came back, and like you could tell like the energy from we had 3 sets. The first set was kind of like people were telling me that the music was good, but I know the show, like I know that feeling of like where I feel good that it was good, like I know it wasn't there. And so when our second came in, that's when like things like, you know, were uplifted, and then like I felt it like, you know, just like boom, and I'm like, this is the show, the show's back on. And I don't know, I feel like those things were like you kind of have to adapt and make everything just I don't know, man. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know where the fuck I was going.
No, I get exactly where you're getting at, man, about like, you know, just like having the energy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and like I said, man, I think it's important. Like when I asked you, I was like, do you know what they were going through?
Yeah.
And you were like, yes. And I was like, there you go. That's what matters. Like transparency, man.
Yeah.
Like if there's one thing I've learned, and even with you know, the band that I was with right now, that I was working with, like things didn't end up working out, but the reason things didn't end in bad terms is because we were transparent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but yeah, like, and that's something that like I learned on tour too, because dude, like there was a good dude, bro. Something happened on me on tour. I'm not going to tell anybody. It's just like, it was just a very personal. It was just a very.
What happened?
Fucking Jeff, dude. You've been asking the real questions.
Jeff. It was
the juice. It was
just a very personal matter.
We all have a tia that's like that. So I'm the tia right now.
Oh, man. No,
Dime, mijo, dime.
It was just a very personal
matter.
No
le voy a decir a nadie.
No le voy a decir a nadie.
That's a fucking lie.
Yeah, but thanks for reminding me.
Mira lo que me contó.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, it was the conversation was about doubt, right? Like, so it's funny because I had also texted Josh very recently. I texted him, like, dude, can I ask you a question? And he was like, yeah, what's up? And I asked him, I was like, do you think like Dos Leones can like get somewhere? And he's like, yeah, dude, but you gotta remember, like, you gotta sink your ships, remember? Or you gotta, right?
Burn the ships.
You gotta burn the ships.
What is that saying, Jeff? Burn the ships?
Burn the ships.
Burn
the boats.
What does that mean? No.
Burn the boats is
tell them a little story.
So
story time with Jeff.
You want to put it in my story or the story that
the story, yeah.
So
and then your story.
Yeah.
Together.
So this is a story of a conquistador that comes to Hernán Cortés comes to from Spain comes to Mexico, and as they arrive to the shores of Mexico, he tells all the sailors like, "Hey, burn the boats." And they're all like, "What do you mean burn the boats? Like, what do we got to go back?" He's like, "No, we're either going to conquer or we're going to die, but we're not going back." So all the sailors are like, all right, burn the fucking boats. And then they ended up conquering Mexico, right? So this story was told to me when I was a kid. I think I was in 3rd grade when this happened. My teacher, Ms. Arola, told the story through this, you know,
history lesson. Yeah.
And it always stayed with me, but it came back to me. You know how like when you have all these things in your mind, but you know, stories come up in certain points. And it came to me when I was about to resign from being a teacher. I was teaching, and
I remember that. Yeah.
And I was gonna go talk to my my administrator.
Oh, okay.
And principal administrator. And I go up and I'm like, hey, you know, I've made a decision that I'm gonna.
I'm burning the school down.
You see your car? Look through the window, it's burning.
Burn your car, dude.
I'm here
There's
to conquer.
No fucking turning
Fight
back.
Club type of shit.
I'm gonna conquer the school.
So I burned a few students.
No, hey.
No, that didn't happen.
Allegedly. That's what's going through my mind. That's why I had to quit.
Hey.
Shit was about to go down. But that, you know, I told her that I was resigning, and she was like, well, you're not going to have your teaching certificate for 5 years if you do this, because you're quitting during the middle school year. That's not the right way to go to exit, and this and that. And I was like, well, I don't believe I'm ever coming back, first of all. So 5 years doesn't matter. And that story came to mind of like, Hernán Cortés, that's me right now. I'm burning the fucking boats, and I'm going to conquer or I'm going to die.
Bro, yes. Yeah. Dude, like there's so much truth to that right now, because this is literally what happened this past weekend. Like you know, it's like mind you, like I said, from Tour de Force, I literally had I had a gap where I did sessioning, I did a little bit of touring or anything and stuff like that, but it wasn't anything that was under my name, or it wasn't anything that like I was
like your own project.
Yeah. Like I was just contributing to friends and hanging out, and doing just having fun, I guess. But in this, it was like, okay, like now from 2014 to 2019, I'm starting a new project and I'm starting to like put all this work into it. Like, I guess like once we got in there, like, and then once I found out about like the it wasn't gonna be able to continue or whatever, my first thought was like, I'm already in this deep. I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
So
like,
that was your burn the fucking boats moment.
Yeah. That was burn the boats moment. Yeah.
That was literally how I thought about it.
You ain't going back. Like that's it. Like I'm gonna fucking do this.
And
I'm gonna die.
Yeah. And like I'll be a little open about it. I'll be a little candid about this. Like, not mentioning names, but I had another talk with one of the other members in the band, where it was so easy for that person to back out of the project because of the situation. Because in the situation involved two people.
Did you have a gun on the table?
Hey,
bro, I'm out.
All right, I'll Suge Knight. You know what I mean? Like, hey, come on, sit. I ain't gonna do nothing. It's just a gun.
It's not loaded. Trust me.
It's not loaded. Do you trust me? I don't think you trust me. I don't like that you don't trust me. But anyways, it was just a conversation where, because I broke the news to him about the other members, and I was like, hey, this isn't gonna happen, like as in like, I guess the way we expected things to happen aren't gonna happen, but we're in this deep. I want to keep going, and I think you and I can make this keep going. Like I think you and I can make this work. Like if we dude, like let's do it, bro. Like the cards are in our table right now. Like they're in our hands. Like at this point, it's what we do with them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I gave this whole I gave him like a nice little punchline, bro. I was like, I really hope this guy it's that movie moment where it's like, boom, grabs my hand and like let's do it. You know what I mean?
Over or what the fuck is it? Predator, where the fucking hard flex handshake with Apollo Creed and fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. But
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember that part.
And like,
damn, we gotta watch it now.
Yeah, like I was waiting for that glorious moment of like, hell yeah, because I know I'm ready to keep going. Like I'm not letting this break me down. And the other person was just like, honestly, man, I think, and I was like, oh.
Honestly, man, I saw like a lifeboat out there. I think I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
I don't want to burn that one.
I just don't know how long that boat's gonna go, and like I just don't see any land anytime soon. I don't know, man. I mean, like I have land here. I have everything I need. I mean, and then it's like I was telling him like, bro, but let's travel the distance. We don't know where we'll end up. Like, let's do it. No, but I mean, I'll take my time. Everybody takes their time. I'm like, dude.
The time is now, motherfucker.
Yeah, like
there is no time. The time is right now.
It's like
anxiety with that conversation.
No, and it's like I get it that you're taking your time, but don't sit on your ass too. And don't try to argue with me about your method is different. It's like, okay, maybe my plan of attack is different, but the thing is, you still got to meet deadlines.
Jeff,
you got to have deadlines. You got to have goals. Like where are they?
Yeah. So Jeff, I have a question for you which will pretty much. I'm pretty sure in the back of his head has that.
Into that.
Yeah, it'll tie into this, and it'll be an answer for you. Like you that has worked with so many projects, worked with so many people.
Yeah.
When you meet that person that like is very like
tentative,
procrastinating.
Oh, procrastinating.
Mm-hmm. Someone who's just hesitant all the time.
It's like my way of putting it is like it's like that person that's always waiting for the perfect scenario to make the move.
Yeah. So what do you do with that person? Like, do you tell him like leave, or do you just wait for him to leave?
Very good question, first of all. But I think you always put the power within you. Mm-hmm. So when you're creating something, you blame yourself for shit that's not moving forward.
Okay.
You can't put it on a fucking guy that
might
not be all in. Yeah. If he's procrastinating, he's not all in, first of all.
Yeah.
So you put the power within you, and you blame yourself for the project not going to that next phase.
Understand.
And then when you give yourself the power to do that, when you blame yourself,
you take responsibility.
You give the power to yourself again to keep moving. And if you're still carrying that person over and over and over, at a certain point, that person is not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be in that. They themselves might detach yourself from. And then in retrospect, you're becoming the asshole now because now you're dragging the person who didn't want to be. See, that's why I learned to split it. I wasn't mad that my friend
wasn't able to continue going, I guess I'm not mad that he didn't want to do it. You know, the same thing with my other two friends that weren't gonna be able to do it because of their situation. Like, but what I appreciated from my other two friends is that they
were just real about it. They were like,
one, they were real about it, and two, they didn't give me a decision right away. They even said, because they still loved the project, they still believed in it so much that they were like,
we can't just say no.
Yeah, they were literally like, because I was like, what are we gonna do? And they were like, give us a few days to think about it. And I was like, okay,
I respect that.
Yeah, and then but this other guy was like,
wishy-washy right out the gate.
Yeah, like, like, and I was like, fuck, like it was like, and my thing is like, I don't know, man. It's almost like
did the project mean something to you?
Not only that, bro. It's just like loyalty and all these things.
Understood.
And all these things involved because my thing is, you know, it's like what you said. People move on to the things, and I'm all for that. But it's just like, I don't know. I guess in that moment, it just seemed like, wow, like you really just like that.
Yeah.
Like
no, and the other thing that you're gonna see a lot is that, especially with a group of people working towards a mission, some people don't see it. Don't see the potential or the possibility. So you just got to keep pushing, because just because they don't see it right now doesn't mean that at a certain point they're going to start believing in it. At a certain point, they're going to go from the non-believer to a believer. And that's going to be at a different phase. Everybody goes through a different phase. Like, because you believed it in day one, like for example, like you believed in your show from day one, right? And you had, who was your co-host at the very beginning?
Picasso
might come back and be a co-host in the future.
Yeah,
but at day one he didn't believe in it.
I see.
You know what I mean? So, and I'm sure Josh, like Picasso, one day comes back and be like, "Hey, dude, like, I believe, like, you know, it might." I'm not saying that it's gonna happen, but it could be that all of a sudden Picasso's back and he's like, "Oh shit, bro, let's take it to that next level again."
Yeah.
So it might happen where your band members come back again and be like, "Oh shit." Yeah. I wasn't ready.
Yeah. Dude,
but
Trey.
And I think
Trey, for instance, like he left, we were banned for like, I don't know, like maybe 7 months or something without him. We continued. We were like, boom, boom, let's keep going. And then Trey even said like, dude, I'm not ready. Like you guys are working and I'm over here like holding everyone back and shit. So he weeded himself out, like you said, right? Yeah. And then plus like he's over here like, nah, like I gotta get back in it or whatever. And so far, dude, he's been on time for fucking practice and all that stuff. And I'm just like, good. That's the mentality.
Moving from like the amateur stage to the professional, where he's like keep everything in line and shit.
Dude, here's my thing with my friend, the one, because actually, and here's another thing, I ended up like slightly snapping at him in a way, because it was just like, it's because I guess what bothered me is that he made it seem like what I was doing was reckless. Like, you know, he's like, oh, you have your methods, and like, I guess that works for you, but that doesn't work for everybody, kind of thing. And but the way it was like it was kind of like the tone. It almost sounded like he was giving me a lesson, like as in like you're and mind you, like I never like to throw my weight around. I never like to throw my credentials around. It's like, dude, like I've been doing this since I was 14. I've shared the stage with, I've done things, you know, and I don't even need to tell you, because let me go out of town and you'll see it yourself. Yeah. Like when I went to the studio, like these guys were like, oh shit, like, because, you know, the engineers I've known for years and the people that I was working with, then they were just like, you know, like I have a good repertoire with the people I work with. Yeah. But a lot of people here think I'm full of shit, but I don't give a shit. Anyways. So like, I don't know. Like one of the things that I told him was like, dude, if you're going to fucking turn down my offer to work with me where I know I'm going to fucking, like, I want to take this somewhere. Yeah. You better fucking do something. Because if you don't do anything, bro, you're full of shit.
Yeah. Amen, bro.
Like,
amen.
If you're going to turn me down, like,
go out there and fucking crush it.
Exactly. And I want you to prove me wrong. Like, and I mean this as a friend. Like, I really genuinely want you to be about what the fuck you're saying about, because so far, all I'm seeing is that you're just afraid and you don't want to fucking admit it.
Damn. Yeah, I like that.
Amen.
Yeah. But you're telling me that I'm reckless, and you're telling me that you're taking your time. No. Like, lies, excuses. Like, be about it, bro. Like, and
burn the motherfucking boat, homie.
I want you to be a solo artist, like you claim that you want to be. I want to see you out there. Like, trust me, I do. But I haven't seen you out there doing none of that shit. That's why I got you with my project, because it's like, if you're not gonna do shit with your own shit, let me get you with my shit, and let me bring you that stuff. Like, I'll help you. Yeah. But if you're gonna turn down my help, you better fucking do it on your own, like you say you're gonna fucking do it, dude. If not, you're just, no offense, you're just a big giant cat.
Understood.
If you want to fill in that line, you know,
like a tiger.
Hey. You know, we already have enough, you know, pussycats here. You know what I mean? In the cat in the house. You know what I mean? I don't need another one. You know what I mean?
This is a no cat household full of dogs. Just
okay. Well, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's
okay.
It's like,
I'm just fucking around.
See, that's what I want people to understand. Like, it's not that I want to be the only one successful. It's not that. Like, sometimes it doesn't upset me that like people don't want to work with me. It upsets me that they don't want to fulfill themselves. And I see all this potential. That's what pisses me off. Because like, it's like you're just adding to that stigma that like nothing good ever comes out of Laredo, because you guys never allow yourselves to get out of Laredo.
Exactly.
So that's why nothing good comes out of Laredo.
Exactly.
There is plenty of good in Laredo. It's just we don't fucking do enough to actually like go out and fucking
make it. Put it on the map, motherfucker.
And you don't have to be rich and all that. Like there's nothing that pisses me off, dude. Like I love Billie Eilish. I think her music is great. I think her artistry is great. And I hate that people dog on her because like obviously she came from connections and I don't know what. I don't give a shit. And that's the only way you're gonna make it. If you stop giving a shit about how everyone did it. Who cares how they did it?
You got to do it the way that works for you.
Yeah, if I get to meet her, if I get to meet her one day and have coffee with her, that'd be fucking awesome. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, look at her, she's rich and look how she got here. Like I don't give a fuck how you got here. Like you got here and you're here.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, talent doesn't get you anywhere. I mean, talent doesn't.
Like
money doesn't get you anywhere because look at Paris Hilton. She's rich and she tried being a DJ and she failed miserably. Like money doesn't.
It could only fucking do so much. You have to have,
I didn't know that.
She tried to be a DJ for a minute.
Dude, she took a big L, bro.
Yeah, like
you never seen the videos? Like she headlined like some festivals or something like that, or she did like she was in a big slot in festivals, and it was just. Horrendous.
She was like, "All right, are you guys ready to watch me press play?" And then instead of like the crowd moving and everything, it was just like,
yeah.
Damn,
yeah,
that's crazy.
That's what I get at. Like people like.
I was in love with Paris Hilton growing up, just so you guys know.
Oh really?
So I'm gonna defend her. I would have fucking been like, yeah.
No, like, hey, it's all good. It's all good. I still love Paris and all. You know, but what I'm saying is like that's what I'm getting at. Like, I'm just tired that people like. I think that's why a lot of people don't fulfill themselves because they look at others and they're like, oh, this person is richer than I am. Oh, this person has this. Oh, look at this person's circumstances. Oh, look what this person did. And it's like, dude, what are you doing for yourself?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
the truth is all of us, every human being has already made it to Earth. You already made it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything else is a win.
Yeah.
Moving forward is a win. So you just got to go out there and just imagine the craziest possibility and like just go for that because it's probably gonna you're probably gonna be able to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, always like the saying, easier said than done. But that's why it's so enriching and fulfilling when you actually do make it happen, man. Like and that's what I was trying to tell my friend that like gave up so easily. I was just like, dude, like and that's the reason I've seen so many people give up so easily because it's just they just want instant gratification. They want to be praised. They want to this. They want like, you know what I mean? Like it's like they're just and it goes back to what I was telling you. I was telling him earlier like how like I realized how social media has literally become like an artist's worst enemy because it's great for PR.
Yeah.
And it's great for spreading art. But at the same time, it's created this thing where like so many people are more focused on how they appear than who they actually are.
Yeah, amen to that.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And now it's like
I see it so evident because I work with a lot of influence. Like I work with a lot of influence.
Yeah.
A lot of my my daily my agency that I have like works with a lot of influencers. So I have to go through this coaching method of telling them like, hey, you have to be authentic because once you misalign who you are as a person to who you're portraying yourself is where shit hits the fan, and then all of a sudden you're gonna have a gap where you don't even know who the fuck you are.
Damn, that's scary.
That's scary, man.
Because when you
but it's this is new though. This is new. This is so new that there's no books about this. There's
we're still learning.
We're still learning about this.
I just caught on to this recently, like super, like so recently, like it's like fresh, like it still smells out of the oven, like like. I was like, and it's something that I realized on my own when I was starting to build these micro lists of like goals for every week. I was like, wait, I'm not gonna. Oh yeah, because I wrote down the list, but then I realized one day I was on Facebook. I was there, like I caught myself, and then I caught myself several times during the day, and I was like, I looked at my list and I looked at like the time, and I measured how much did I do versus how much was I in this wormhole of social media worried about all these things. Because I was also still looking at stuff about the band and blah blah, and it was just like I was so indulged in like it's what a friend of mine told me out on tour. Her name's Judah. Like, she's the most beautiful human being I've ever met, both in and out. Like, she told me this saying, because I remember we were me and her, we started talking because of The Alchemist. We started talking about the book and blah blah, and then she threw me this saying that just fucking knocked me on my ass, and like I've carried it ever since, which is, if you focus too much on talking about what you've already done, you're not focusing enough on what you could be doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what social media has created with artists, because now they're all so focused on what they've done, because it's content. You're putting up content. You've already done it, but they're not understanding that. Like, focus on your art, build the content, put it out there. Let someone else worry about it. Hire a content person or whatever. Yeah. But focus on your art. Don't lose yourself,
baby. Is where
exactly. There you go. The idea of a team. Yeah.
The team,
because then you're losing yourself, because now you're getting too involved in all these other things, and it's taking away from the real reason you're in it.
Yeah.
And now
obviously, like, social media it's a gift and a curse. So you just gotta know how to use the tool as something that's gonna support you and spread your word. And
it's like you control it, not it controls you.
Yeah.
I found
I think there's no happy medium. I think you're gonna go through both extremes at one point.
True,
for sure.
Because it's like anything, man. It's just a trial and error, and then you have to go through it.
And it's an evolving thing. Yeah, like this whole technology and social media. It's dude, like literally like every month something new happens, and then I remember like last year in December I was reading something about like the music industry, and then now I read this, and it's like everything is moving constantly. So you're right. There's no happy medium, because it's never gonna stay the same. Yeah.
What I like about like what you're doing, Josh, which is a good point here, is that you're doing what the fuck you want, and you speak about whatever you want. I know we had like these conversations about like what are the topics and stuff like that, like. And reality, like, Josh has been like, oh, dude, I'm gonna talk about what's on my top of my dome.
This is an open forum.
This is an open forum, and I think this is like a really good example to other people of like the way you should approach social media. Like, you do your thing, and people love that shit. They're gonna come to it. But don't do it. Oh, like, what do people like? Let me do that.
Oh, you know what I've seen bands do now? Like, literally, it's gone to the point where bands are surveying their fans. Like, they're like, oh, new single, should we release it? Yes, no. Oh, this and that, what do y'all think? Oh, we have a new song, should we drop it? And it's like, dude, what the
fucking drop that shit, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Just give me the music, bro.
Why are you even holding it? Why is it in the fucking digital drive right now?
I've seen bands use fucking Avengers promos, like, oh, who's seen the Avengers? Oh, ready to see your new single? Like, what the fuck? Like,
who's been to the new Walmart? I mean, Walmart.
Yeah, new single coming out soon, and it's like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, is this like you're ad generating for yourself now? Like,
if anything, we've done something similar, but in the sense of like or click on this link so that it sends it to you, like, because like it's not ready yet or something like that. So click this link so when it drops,
you get the notification.
You get the notification that it's dropped.
Oh no, that's very different. That's very different. Yeah, no, I'm talking about like the fact that
getting opinions from other people and stuff.
Like, let me say this real quick. Like, I have a lot of people on my social media that are like rappers and stuff. And I see it mostly with rap artists, at least that are from here, right? Like, oh, hey,
from Laredo, you mean?
Yeah, from Laredo. And they're like, they'll post shit that'll be like, 25 likes and I'll drop my latest track or whatever. And I'm like, bro, just fucking drop that shit, bro. If
it's good, you're gonna get more than 25 likes, my guy.
100%, 100%. And not even just that, but like, you're pretty fucking irrelevant. And I don't mean that in like a dick way or anything. I'm just saying that, like,
at a certain point, everybody
get the fuck over yourself.
But the fact that you're doing that, it doesn't make you any more relevant. It makes you look like you're pandering to your audience, and people care less about you like that. Like you, the thing is, like, it's not like about who knows you, it's who wants to get to know you. Like people, you want people to want to know you, but how are you gonna want to know you? You're like, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Hey, have you heard my? Hey, how's it going? New single. Hey, like, you're just going up to everybody like that.
Like, there's a right and a wrong way to use it, right? Exactly, like, so it's just like and I understand, like, it's very fucking new. So yeah, of course, there's always gonna be wrong ways of doing it, but at the end of the day, dude, like, just fucking put your shit out there. Who fucking cares?
And you know what? But I guess I can like elaborate more on that. Like, you know, if you want to do like a good like PR scheme and this and that, then do that too. I'm all for that. What I'm saying is stop relying on your audience to make your moves. Like, stop worrying about how they do it. Like, if you want to do a lucrative PR scheme that involves all this work and this and that, then that's fine, because that's part of the art and that's part of like the process of how you want to present your art. You know what I mean? So I think what a lot of people are missing out on is that they're not focusing on creating art and a product. They're just focused on generating views and attention.
Yeah, dude. They're looking at numbers and stuff.
Look at me, look at me, look at me. Hey, I'm about to drop a new single. Look at me. Hey, look at me. I'm gonna drop a better single. That's all they're doing. It's never like it's not just like boom, single dropped with their own scheme.
And
like,
I feel like,
you know,
Jeff, I look to you for, and we've had these conversations back and forth as far as like with the show itself. And I mean, I told you, right, like the hardest part of it is the whole YouTube aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's the hardest one to grow. And like we've been going back and forth as far as how to, you know, make it grow a bit quicker. There's like a formula that you've been implementing that you kind of taught me with. And for me, I struggle with it because of the same thing that you said, that I try to like not worry so much about that and just keep fucking doing it. But, you know, you get to a level where you have to also implement that part of the game.
Yeah,
to be able to
a plan of attack, organized.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was just sorry about.
No, it's the whole idea of like don't overthink it too much. Like, don't, just because you're doing something that might get some attention, you're not being douchey. At the end of the day, it's about the context behind it. What exactly is what you're putting out? What's the medium you're putting that out in? And at the same time, like, in order, because it's a competitive world, right? It's, you know, for sure. There's this whole idea of like clickbait nowadays. Like, what are you gonna click on?
Crazy.
So people are baiting you to click on it. So you have to understand that game to be able to be involved in the conversation. And if you want your show to be distributed to more than just your friends and family, you have to be playing those games that might sound a little bit douchey. But if there's some good content behind it, then it's dope, because you don't have to be doing that in the long run. It's just like it's a way to get into the game and like, okay, let me get my first 100 fans. Let me get my first 1,000 fans. Once you have that core of 1,000 fans, then you're like pretty much unstoppable. Like, you know.
I think what you said is perfectly fine. I'm not against those tactics necessarily. It's just more like I've just seen how like a lot of bands, like they keep doing it. And then they keep doing it, and then their fan base doesn't grow. And I'm like, bro, you're doing
change your
focus on the fucking music.
Exactly.
Focus on the music.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at, because I just see them like trying to come out with this big image, and it's like, ooh, where's your song? Like, you know, and see that.
Put the work in.
That's the thing about simplifying. Yeah, that's literally what happened with this new band. Like when we first came in, there was all this like ideas left and right and blah 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 blah. Like there was so much right coming at once. And the problem is a lot of these bands, they want to do it all at the same time. And so what we have to do, what I did with the guys is like, okay, let's pump our brakes. Like, let's start with the first thing. Do we have a single? Mm-hmm. No. Let's write a single. Mm-hmm. Once you write the single, like, let's see how that goes. If we're vibing with the way we're writing and stuff like that, then maybe we could talk about an EP. The single came out great. We came out with another song. We came out with another song. Holy crap, we're going to do an EP now. You know, and that's what I mean. Like, it's just start from the beginning, man. Like, what the fuck?
Have you read the book on Jim Morrison?
No.
Like the biography one?
The biography one. I think you read it too, right?
Yeah. I took your copy. I probably still have it somewhere. Yeah.
What's it called?
It's literally called like the biography of Jim Morrison.
I think so. Yeah.
I forgot the actual
title of the title of the book, but
that's what it is.
Fucking big. Like, it's very detailed. Biography on Jim Morrison.
Fucking read
must read.
Yeah, must read. Cover to cover, dude.
It's probably called like a song name. It's probably called The Other Side.
You know what? You know who I think has it, dude? Picasso. Because I remember lending to him.
If you're listening to this, we need the book.
Yeah, dude. Pásalo para atrás, homie. Yeah. But, dude, cover to fucking cover Jim Morrison. Holy shit, man. Crazy. Yeah. Like, ridiculous talent. Like, super ridiculous talent.
Yeah, one of the stories that stands out. I mean, very similar to what you're talking about, like starting with a single and stuff like that. But like, I think with him, when he started his band, it wasn't like, let's start a band. It was just like, hey, come into my room, like pick a book. He had like a whole series of books like stacked up. He literally hadn't. He didn't. I don't. From what I remember, he didn't have a bed. There was just like books in his room. That's what he had.
He lived in like in a half-finished building in LA for a while. I think it was in LA.
Yeah, LA.
And he just had stacks and stacks of books, and that's literally like all he would do is fucking read. And like so that's where the story comes into play.
So then he would ask his friends, be like, "Hey, grab a book, any book in the room. All right." They would grab a book. All right, open it up. Tell me the page number, and then they would open the page number, and then he would just recite the page.
Shut the fuck up. Like fucking savant
shit.
Yeah, he probably had fucking photographic memory, dude.
He did.
He did. Yeah,
he's pretty straight up savant.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That must be a curse, right? And I mean, obviously a blessing, but like the fucking
having a gift and a curse.
Yeah, but he wasn't a singer. Like he wasn't like a singer. He didn't know how to sing. He didn't know how to make music. But he had friends that knew how to make music. So they're like, oh, this is cool. I vibe with this shit. Like what? Like So it's the whole idea of like of you falling in love with this whatever that is, that moment, that experience, and let's do more of that. Whatever that is. Fuck the ideas. Like let's just experience this, and then. The more you do that, slowly, organically, it becomes something, and that's what it became. Now there were actually, I don't know the street in LA, but there's a street in LA where there's all these bunch of bars, and they would play in the shitty bars, right, for a long time.
The whiskey I think it was called
Whiskey Go-Go.
Yeah, Whiskey a Go-Go, I think.
Yeah,
that was like one of their.
Now it's like a famous bar.
Well, eventually they ended up, getting more popular, and he started learning how to. Use his voice better, and they started making better music, whatever that case was. But eventually they blew up because of this idea of just getting together and creating something.
Exactly, dude. That's beautiful, bro. Because that's literally what I was talking to like my bandmates about. I just love the idea of that getting together and creating. Like I love the idea that we were there. Like, I mean, I'll say it proudly. I don't care. I put everything together. Like I did, and then they'll admit like. I got the bandmates together. Alex gave me an idea like for the chorus, and then I made it into I produced it into a full song. Yeah. And then I got the engineers involved. I got like the photographer involved, and in that creative space, it was just like all this stuff going on, and I was just there was a moment where I was just kind of sitting back looking at everybody work, and I was just like, I did this. Yeah. I'm making this happen right now. They're all working under my time.
That's dope.
Like, and that's what that's the value of money. See, that's the thing. That's the full circle of what I mean about like that. I don't care about money because I like to do what I like to do with it when I want to do what I want to do with it. Like, which is like I have it, and you know what? I want to do this, so I'm gonna put all this team together because I know that I need money to make it happen. You see what I mean now? Like that whole like understanding the value.
It's not that you're greedy, or is that
it lets me create. I love it. It's like with the money I have, it's like going to Marshall's and buying blank canvases. That's kind of what I get to do with money. Like it's my blank canvases. I get to buy unlimited blank canvases and create things and stuff, like
I know what you mean. It's like if you got money, like let's say you got like a ridiculous amount of money and you buy yourself a Lamborghini, like you don't know one thing about Lamborghinis. Why do you have a fucking Lamborghini? Except the fact that it's going to make you look flashy. Yeah. So what you're doing is like, I love fucking creating. Yeah. And especially in this hallway. So I'm gonna fucking invest into that because it makes me happy.
Yeah, and you know what? And like, and this thing, man, like you can't call me selfish because I've tried starting bands for so long. This is the first time I'm finally saying that I don't want to start a band. That I just want to do it on my own and then find a team. You know what I mean?
Understood.
Like because all my years I've always tried. I've put the bands. Okay, and actually let's backtrack to that. Because here's another thing, remember when I told y'all that I met those dudes and one of them mentioned that like, oh, like it's easy when you're rich or whatever. Well, anyways, in that conversation, that same dude that said that ended up really liking me by the end of the session, and to the point where like, like we got along really well because, I guess like somehow we ended up talking about how like I got into music, and that was the first time I ever really talked about it. I never talked about it. And I was like, when I talked about it and I finished talking about it, I was like, holy shit, that is so strange how life works. Because I've always had a fascination with the flute and drums growing up as a kid. Drums by nature, because my dad is a drummer. But flute, I've just always enjoyed flute. I'm a sensitive person. I'm a very feminine guy.
Understood.
You know what I mean? And I don't give a shit. I love women. But I'm a very feminine guy. Understood. Like people confuse me for being gay. And that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's fine because, But anyways, that's why I've always loved the flute. It's very feminine to me. It's a very, I don't know, it always called my attention.
What's your favorite color? Pink?
I have a pink toothbrush. I have a pink toothbrush.
Oh
yes,
my god.
Oh my god. No, anyways,
Tattoo a rainbow.
right? Hey, nah. I mean, I'm not gay, but
Favorite city?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But I have
why'd they have to take
no,
the rainbow? Dude?
No, but you know, I'll tattoo a rainbow. Why not? You know,
No, you're
support-
confident in your feminine aspect.
Yes.
You
That's
know,
good, bro.
you embrace it. You know,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
Fuck this. I like this shit.
Yeah, yeah. Like if a gay
like Speedos at the beach.
if a gay man finds me attractive, I'll find it a good compliment.
That's what happens. With
Yeah,
me
like
too,
if a
dude.
gay man finds me attractive, I'll be like, thank you. Like, but it's not like I'm like, oh,
But you're
I
good
like-
looking, bro.
Thank you. No, but yeah. So
What size of shoe are you, bro?
no,
Latin.
but wait, what were we talking about? I totally got lost.
That you're sensitive. You enjoy your.
But before that,
You explained your journey into music, and that led you to
yes,
realize.
yes. Okay. So, anyways, so yeah,
flutes,
I've
how you
I've
like
always
flutes.
loved. I've always loved
You clean
drums.
the
I've always
flutes.
loved the flute, not the skin flute. But anyways, so what happened is when I joined band, they didn't have flute in that section. They only had drums, so they put me on drums. I didn't want to be there for drums. I wanted to be there for flute.
Really?
And they had me try out. It was like 20 some
Mine
people.
was vice versa, dude. I
You
was.
didn't want to tap it. You wanted to blow it.
But anyways, so they had me they had us try out, you know what I mean? And like out of the 20 some students, they only took 12 in, and I made it.
Wow.
You know, but I made it con like
Damn,
not
I
even
feel bad for the other guys.
I know, because I didn't even want it, but that's the thing. It was kind of like fate, I guess. It was not fate, but it was one of those weird things in life because
How was the tryout? Like, that was the first time you've been in band?
yeah.
There's like no prior experience to music.
No.
You try out.
No, yeah, I did a pretty good role because I mean,
thought you like band in middle school was like for you to learn band, not for you to be.
well, it's because sometimes
Yeah.
they only had so many slots in
I was-
some parts. So if you didn't make it there, they would transfer you out to other.
It's like this,
other
because I went to the south side. What school did you go to?
United South.
Oh,
Like-
I was in Los Obispos, and like there was like 12 band members total.
Oh,
12 band members.
Yeah,
What
like it was
the
like
fuck?
little ass
Damn.
band.
No, but
Nobody wanted to be in band.
no, but eventually, like I
They
don't
were
know.
like recruiting like class by class. Anybody want to join band? And it was like, ¿qué es eso?
¿Qué es eso?
Yeah.
La banda.
Like banda, gonna.
Yeah, no, hombre.
No, but
Se
Toca el
jale.
acordeón.
Te
No, but,
ponen
like-
un. Yeah. No, true. Like we had some badass accordion players though.
Yo,
No,
really?
real shit, dude.
Yeah,
real shit.
like
no,
yeah.
but yeah, like fast forward, like I eventually I got out of band in around high school because I just didn't get along with my director, whatever, and around
It's
that
the
time,
sun though, right? Like
But-
being
but-
out in the sun playing in the band.
huh?
Don't you guys go out in the sun? and
Yeah,
play in
yeah.
the band?
I
They
loved
march
dude.
that
I
shit.
loved everything, bro. I loved everything. Like it was just we just didn't get along. That was all it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Like
You didn't want to do it your way.
no, it was just a lot
Did you
of.
give him an ultimatum with a gun?
Right? It was just a lot of favoritism.
You know Suge Knight?
Uh,
I'm Suge Knight.
damn. No, but like it was just like a lot of favoritism or whatever. But anyways, like aside from that, like I left band and I just didn't know what I was gonna do.
What school is this?
Martin.
Martin High
Yeah,
School?
yeah,
Oh, shit.
and like I was
I don't know why I see you like an Alexander type of guy.
everyone says.
I thought you went to OBJ this whole time, dude.
Everyone says United Alexander.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you look like
Martin.
a south side.
Dude, I grew up
Yeah.
in the hood, bro. Like in
Yeah.
Houston, I grew up in the hood. Here, I grew up
What
in
part of the hood did you grow up? Like what street?
Cantarranas.
Cantarranas. All right, I
Yeah.
know what that is.
That's
the
barrio.
I spent like a year there.
That's a
Yeah.
barrio for sure, right?
Yeah, that's barrio, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like
yeah.
well, I mean, yeah.
OG.
Like it's cool, you know. Just
Like-
mind your business.
Yeah. It's,
But anyways,
Like
like
nobody has like their dogs on the leach there, right? Like just people
Um,
are just like dogs are just running around and shit.
something like that, yeah. And except for the violent ones, they're behind gates. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but so I knew I've always wanted to do music all my life because ever since I was a kid, right? But anyways, I got out of band. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I've always known that I wanted to express myself.
But you still live there in Cantarranas?
Yes.
Oh shit.
And this was around the time that like all this stuff was still happening with my mom and all.
What
my
year was
parents.
this? Around what year?
It was around 2004.
Okay, it was
2000
before you.
Wait, no, 2005 or six.
Got it.
Six. Yeah, six. Because then the band
Right
started.
where YouTube launched.
Yeah, because the band started in 2007, but
That's how
yeah,
new YouTube is.
but
yeah, 2006. Before that, you couldn't watch video. Like you could
Before
watch
that, it was fucking E-Bombs World, dude.
E-Bombs
Yeah.
World.
Did
or
Soulja Boy
Cottage
sign
Humor.
something with YouTube?
Stupidvideos.com.
Huh?
Is Soulja Boy like with YouTube or something like that? Like, does he have like a contract with YouTube or anything like that?
No, he's got the most watched ever music video though, right?
He was the first person to ever put his like music on YouTube and like his,
that blew up,
and he was the first person, dude. He was smart, dude.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But so anyways, going back to the story. I know I'm over elaborating.
It's okay, go for it.
So like my brother tried starting different bands along the way. Like he always tried starting all these death metal bands, and I was just always there hanging out with them. And then when we'd go over to my best friend Ram's house, he lived like in a ranch, like out in the monte. And he had an old crappy drum set and a guitar. And so we jam out. We jam out to like Cradle of Filth or like, Black Sabbath or like, Slipknot or Under Oath or whatever. Just, because I got him into like the post-hardcore emo stuff. He got me into like the death metal kind of stuff.
Okay.
But anyways, him and my brother were always trying to start bands. My brother for the most part. And then one day when I was in 9th grade, by that time I already got out of band. My brother bought a $200 drum set at a garage sale from some rich dude. So it had full set of drums, full set of cymbals, everything.
Damn.
My brother bought it to start a band with Ram and this other guy named Ricky.
Ram, the guy we know, Ram?
No, it's another Ram. Yeah.
Another Ram, yeah. He was in the band called Stella Lost also as a guitarist. But anyways, so he's him and Ram tried starting a band with this guy named Ricky. And that guy only showed up for like 1 or 2 practices. And then he left his pedals there and everything. And my brother was like, hey, dude, you want to play drums? And I was like, okay. And that's literally how it started. And
wow.
Like that, like, and it sounds so simple then, but I don't know, man, just something.
So the flute never came to fruition.
The flute never came to fruition, but music in general, yeah, it was cool, man. It was just like, and I guess having been in band, I'm grateful that they put me on drums because when they put me on drums during concert season, I did a lot of like the auxiliary stuff. So I did like suspended cymbal. I did xylophone. Like in one piece, in one song alone, I would do 5 to 6 different instruments, like percussion instruments. You know what I mean? And like that helped me like appreciate the value in drums. Like where it just wasn't, it's like
understood. Yeah.
I learned dynamics. I learned value and like.
Yeah,
like different sounds, like everything makes a sound, you know what I mean? And that's what it taught me. It just taught me how like rhythm makes everything move. And that's what helped me become a songwriter, understanding rhythm.
Yeah.
Like, and then because of that, I'm grateful that I didn't go to flute. I'm grateful I went there because then now when I've been able to transpose that onto guitars and bass.
Oh, that's the flute. That's why. Okay, got it now.
Yeah, because now I can apply melody. That's why I like the flute. I like the flute because of the melody. And I like the drums because of the groove, but I never really understood it. And then once I joined it and understood it well, I was like, wow, and then I knew how to break it down more. You know what I mean? Like I understood parameters, I understood measures, I understood timing, I understood like so many things. So it allowed me to like, and the thing about me as a kid, I've always had a lot of melodies in my head. I would always whistle and sing and this and that. So now I was able to like actually put it into form.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
Do you paint and draw? Sorry, dude.
No, go.
Do you also paint and draw and like, or is this is this the only form of expression, or do you express yourself like in?
I don't necessarily paint and draw, but I do have the vivid images where I whenever I've gone, all the artwork that you've seen with most of my bands and stuff like that, it's been directly involved with me and the collaborator that I work with. Like
cool.
I closely collaborate with them because that's my thing. That's the thing I realized. Like I don't know how to draw, but I know what I want.
Yeah.
And to the T, like to the where I can like explain it, and like that's why I have such an easy time with people that I collaborate with because I know what I want, and it's not like just figure it out and that looks cool, I guess.
Some fucking couple generalities and fill in the blanks.
Like everything I do has a vision. Everything I do, like you have your song, and then your songs have like the art is like there's so much involved to art, man. Like I can't even begin, but it's visual, sonically, and even what you feel. You know what I mean? Like it's and so yeah, man. It's a very I kind of went a little super vague on that answer, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm always interested in musicians because for me, I've never had that that I don't understand music. Like that's why I admire musicians so much. Is that like how do you compose something and how do you find the note and how can like
check this out and it's all based a lot on feeling because I was hanging out with my baby nephew a few days ago. Well, not a few weeks ago, and I came up with this melody. I'll show it to y'all right here. Like it's just like little like recording I did on my phone. But I was hanging out with my nephew, and I love my nephew.
How old is he?
He's a 1-year-old.
Okay.
And he
so
loves.
He was hanging out with you.
Yeah, in my room playing on the instruments and stuff like that. And then like I don't know, just this moment of like it was this moment of serene peace that I felt where like I love my nephew, and this idea came to me, and I wrote it down, and it just this is how it sounds.
Put it on the thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like check it out, like. You know, like I wrote that melody like just thinking about my nephew, kind of like my way of saying like, kind of like appreciating him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I could. That's how well I could speak through music. Like, and it wasn't like. Oh, that note. No, it just that's been one of my, I guess, talents that I wish I could develop more because I wish I was really, really good at music theory because then I could really, but I just fiddle around. Like I just hit that note and then I was just like, it just came like I literally landed the notes almost like verbatim like that, and then I was like, hey, let me just record that. That sounds cool.
That's dope.
It's so strange because I always think that people that are not musicians, like, I always think they know, like for instance, like. Just anybody off the street that's like not even like into art or whatever. I feel like they know about music, so when I talk to them, I'm just like, what, like like
it's a different
it's weird, dude.
It's weird. Language. It's a different form of.
It's like being an alien on the border.
Yeah, it's an alien. Yeah, being alien. You guys are fucking aliens.
Yeah, bro, and I don't know. It's very strange how much people know so much about their avenue, and I'm oblivious. And they talk about it, and I'm just like, I'm lost already, bro. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, and even with that little idea that I showed you, like, I already hear everything in my head. Like, I heard a little melody, like the vocal melody too. Like, what I hear is it reminds me a lot of like some Stevie Wonder / like if Kanye were to jump in on it kind of stuff, add it, and like, but yeah, like you hear the melody, and then I'll be there.
Oh, I see what
like,
you're saying.
Kind of like that, like. Da, da, da.
Yeah, I get you.
Complimenting the fucking notes. Yeah,
I get you. Like it's a very so that's an idea that I might make into something. I don't know, but it's just if I do, it's gonna be homage to my nephew. It's very like.
What kind of genre are you making music for right now? It's just whatever comes.
Yeah. I think at this point, like that, I guess again that's the blessing that came with now that I'm on my own now.
Yeah,
it's like
so you're officially a solo artist right now.
I guess so, yeah, just by default.
Yeah,
by default. But
do you think it sucks that you have to label yourself like when you pretty much promote yourself?
I guess now I'm learning to embrace it because it's like fairly new. As in, like I barely decided to actually just embrace it like a day ago or two.
What do you mean to say like, oh, we're this type of band?
I've never been the type of guy that says like I want to be a solo artist. And even when I said it like a few months back, it's like I didn't really mean it. It was still like I hope I find a project.
Well, what I mean is,
but
like,
now I'm dead set on
your genre. Like, let's say like, oh, we're this type of band. Do you hate that?
Yeah. I don't.
And it sucks, dude, because you have to, because like. If people are searching for this type of music, you know what I mean? Like, so let's just say your music falls under hip hop, right? And you're not going to be like, oh, we're, and then you have like this long list.
Yeah,
because
okay. I think I know what I could put it down to. I think I just want to make pop music.
Mm-hmm.
And pop music doesn't mean like bubblegum. It just means popular. Like, and if I want to write a heavy riff and throw it in there, I could do that.
Uh-huh.
But that's pop music.
Pop music to me means like the popular
culture
chords. Also,
well, for me, see, there you go. See, I think that's where we start seeing it different. Because for me, pop isn't a genre. Pop is a culture.
Oh, okay.
I see.
And so, like, to me, it's like I'd rather go in and make my own move.
Yeah.
And then that's pop.
Mm.
Do you have any like projects that you want to plug or anything?
Not at the moment. I mean,
anything upcoming?
Not at the moment. I guess it's just. I guess because like
that sounds like a name of a band. Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Damn.
Not at the moment. Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out to not at the moment.
No, because I guess it's like I don't know. It's so everything's so recent. So I'm still in the process of like again like
rebuilding.
Yeah, rebuilding. I mean, not even rebuilding. I guess if anything, like we already set it in motion, and because I was talking about it, like I said, with my two friends, Zoe and Alex. Like, we're still great friends, that regardless if we're continuing or not in that project. But as I was talking with them, it was like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, like I don't know. I'm just ready to move forward. I don't know.
Justin, any shows that you got upcoming that you want to plug?
I've got the Cold Brew on Friday, June 1st, and then Cultura. Then I got your show, the live podcast on the 7th.
Fourth Dimension Fridays
of June, and then we're already working with Cultura again because we talked and they want to do another show on a weekend for.
What's
up?
If you guys do a fucking show on the weekend at Cultura, so imagine how packed, like for a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Times. Well, I mean, you've been there.
Yeah.
Times fucking 1,000. Dude. Yeah. Real shit. That's how it pops off there.
So they want us to play on Saturday, June 8th. And then we got June 15th at Boogaloo.
June 15th, cool. My birthday.
Yeah.
There's two shows that day that y'all should go out to. That one, and then the other one that's going.
Nicholas Whips.
Nicholas Whips. That one's going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking about that, like, actually, Nicholas Whips, shout out to that guy. I think that guy's I think all those dudes from somewhere in between, they're great dudes. But, man, him, bro, like, that's a prime example of, like, someone that right now I'm currently looking up to, bro. Like this motherfucker,
he's
like
fucking doing it, bro. He was on the show a week ago, actually.
Yeah. And dude, and I heard his stuff.
I gotta check out his music now,
bro. Is
it what kind of musician?
It's hip hop.
Oh, it's dope.
He used to be. I'll end this podcast with one of their old songs from somewhere in between. The first song that I ever heard from them.
Yeah.
And
so Nicholas Whips and Somewhere in Between are similar.
He's the lead singer.
It's like he went his own direction with.
Got it.
And see, that's why right now he's inspiring me a lot right now, because like,
so
bro,
he was somewhere in between.
Okay. If there's any hip hop artist that he sounds like voice wise, no, he sounds like his own guy, dude.
Yeah, like Post Malone.
But it's like Drake with
way fucking better than fucking Post Malone.
Yeah, it's like Drake with like
a college vibe too.
Like this college Drake, dude. And like who else, dude? Who else can I compare him to?
Let me tell you this. One of his songs, it was called Primer Misterio, dude.
Oh wow, El Primer Misterio.
Yeah,
bro.
It's fucking. But he had to change it to English, so it's called First Mystery.
First Mystery.
Because Spotify was being a dick. Yeah, but my favorite jam is Brown Skin Baby.
Oh, fuck yeah, by far, dude. Yeah. Actually, I don't know, dude. They're all pretty...
It's because that Ponte Trabajar, Ponte... Dude, it gets fucking crazy. Yeah. You would listen to it, Jeff. You'll like it.
Check it out,
and see, that's why
I'm looking forward to my ride back right now.
Yeah.
Right now, this guy is inspiring me a lot right now.
Spotify, right?
Spotify, anything, actually. Spotify, iTunes, I think. Also Google.
Yeah.
SoundCloud, all that shit is everywhere. YouTube.
Shout out to Nicky Whips.
For real. Big shout out to
the homie.
No, but yeah, like I was saying, that guy right now is inspiring me a lot, because like this guy's exactly what I should have been doing, and I'm glad that I'm doing now. And shout out to people like him that like just keep going regardless of what goes their way. You know what I mean? Like they're an artist, and an artist is not gonna stop creating regardless of what's put in there in front of them.
And he's definitely part of that 5% that we were talking about
right
now.
Yeah,
at least.
Oh, dude, he was at South by Southwest. He's been performing all over Austin. Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I would have gone.
He's been performing all over Austin.
And when do you hear this guy being like, oh, hey, like, he's not pandering, bro. He's just.
He's like, on Friday I'm gonna drop music. Check it out. Boom. Drops it on Friday.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
And that's literally how I found out about him. It just boom. It was in my face. It was like, yo, like it wasn't like, hey, you want to hear a new song? It was like, boom, and I was like, yo, what's this?
Yeah, I do like
it's hot.
I do like that. Yeah.
That's how it has to be, bro. It has to be hot. Not like
for real. It's fucking super hot.
Let the music speak for itself.
For real. Jeff, anything you want to plug?
Nah, man. Just go out there and keep creating, bro. Like if you're out there, just keep doing your thing, put it out to the world, and just believe in yourself.
Love yourself.
Yeah. Love yourself. Live in the moment. And if you're a creator, then create, bro.
Create, motherfucker.
I'll be... Okay, so Friday, June 7th, 8 p.m., Boogaloo, the first ever Fourth Dimension Fridays, live podcast, free adult beverages for the adults, live music performance afterwards from Dos Leones, Jay Zilla. I think as of right now, Innocent Android is still on the ticket. Cool. I'm waiting to hear back from Gonzi just to make sure that that's going to happen, because he's recently like getting a new job, moving out of town, all this shit. So I'm like, fuck, all right. Might need a second actor to throw in. And so conspiracy theories, beer, chill, music, come on down. Let's have a good fucking time. Boogaloo, Friday, June 7th, 8 p.m. Show up.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom, baby. It's been almost, we're close to 3 hours, so.
Damn.
It was like last time.
Yeah, dude, for real, right? For real.
Yeah.
It just fucking flies by. But I'm gonna play you some shit from Whips is when he was in Somewhere in Between.
Did it Whips or Nicky Whips?
Yeah,
Or
back
Nicholas
in what,
Whips?
like, this is probably
I've
like
heard
what?
the name so far.
This is probably
Nicholas
back in like,
Whips,
this is probably
Nicholas
back in 2009, 10, right? Around there?
Actually, why don't I just play Brown Skin Baby?
Oh, fuck it, bro.
Yeah,
This is new shit.
Yeah,
This is new shit.
Yeah, you know, we already know Somewhere Between. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Somewhere Between was fucking dope.
Yeah.
People gotta know what's up.
I don't know.
now.
I was typing broken.
Brown skin
Broken in
baby,
between.
Broken.
No, but he has a really good cadence and everything, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's like it's
I don't know. I really like Hit the Sploosh, but
What do you mean by
Brown Skin.
cadence? What does that mean?
cadence,
delivery
yeah,
on the beat?
Oh, yeah,
his
yeah.
delivery,
Timing?
yeah, like his flow.
just
Catchy
keep-
as fuck.
As far as
it's very smooth, but very like it's got a good like it's strong but smooth. Like
Yeah.
it's like his wordplay is really.
He
good.
can do it, dude. He can do
wow.
it. He's.
I'm excited, bro.
I'm gonna go with Hit the Sploosh. I'm sorry. I like it too much.
Fuck it, do it.
All right.
Hit this blues.
I want that purple stuff.
Can I get it? I hit the sploosh. Walk my fat ass in the place I want to use. Holy shit, this is heavy. A lot of juice. They oughta get me, so I gotta stay loose. Oh yeah, no drama. I got plenty. Get my dick sucked while I sip this Henny. Ooh na na. Ooh na na. Ooh na na. Ooh na na. Yeah, I've been winning, and that's a given. Posted with the crew and nah, we ain't chillin'. No, no, no. This is business, and we don't finish. I keep it going cause I need to rep the village on my back. Slow like Max Payne. I ball like 2K. Bitch, where you live at? Hush like Hitman. Yo, where you been at? Came back like Sinbad. Like, where's your head at? Except no kickback. Yeah, I've been in a dark place. Why I been so MIA? Why my heart so filled with hate? Look around, all I see is pain. Trying to find a better way. I just wanna meditate. LSD could want my slate. Psychedelics on my plate. Blind when I close my eyes, thinking about my whole life. Share my ego, fuck the hype. Fuck this taste, I smell it sight. Purple dram, my kryptonite. Fantastic boy, it's through the night. This bitch, she wants to ride my bike. Please hold my hand, I feel too high. Can I get it? I hit the sploosh. Walk my fat ass in the place I want to use. Holy shit, this is heavy. A lot of juice. They oughta get me, so I gotta stay loose. Oh yeah, no drama. I got plenty. Get my dick sucked while I sip this Henny. Ooh na na. Ooh na na. Ooh na na. Ooh na na.
Might not be what's popular today, but you know that's what I like. So you know I told the kid, it's not about what I have on my feet, it's about what I have inside my head. No matter what I'm wearing, no matter what I have on, it's about my information, the knowledgeable things in life. These sneakers are not even going to fit you in 20 years from now. So it's about what you have in your mind, your wisdom, your knowledge, the power to inspire others.
Am I in it? 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 Cause I'm really trying to do this independent. No percentage cause I'm trying to get a bando, not a civic. Used to dream about this living, now I'm finally gonna live it. You should tell that little bitch and all this rest to stop pretending. Don't gotta lie, ayy. I see her eyes, yeah. Don't gotta hide, yeah. We all gonna die, yeah. I'm gonna die, yeah. Be with my friends, ayy. I don't like time, yeah. When does it end? You don't understand. Can I get it? I hit the sploosh. Walk my fat ass in the place I want to use. Holy shit, this is heavy. A lot of juice. They oughta get me, so I gotta stay loose. Oh yeah, no drama. I got plenty. Get my dick sucked while I sip this Henny. Ooh na na. Ooh na na. Ooh na na. Ooh na na.
And parents, please don't raise your children like the materialistic type, because you know once they don't have Jordans on or cool clothes, they're gonna feel like they're not important. They're gonna feel like they need the golden or the Jordans or the cool stuff, the popular stuff, to make them feel important.